If you were to bite off a kneecap, how would it look?
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Good morning, everyone. You're tuning in to the Morning Wood on the Woodward Sports Network, featured on the Roar 93.5 FM, 99.1 FM, and 94.7 HD2. We're so glad to have you here. Happy Hump Day. Heck yeah. We're to the middle of the week. And it's exciting, right? Then it's Thursday, then it's Friday, then we're done.
Only weak people look forward to the weekend.
Fish does every week.
Okay, well, I'm a weak person, Adam.
Yeah,
Jeez.
sorry.
Can we just can we
If you're
have
celebrating,
anything?
if you're celebrating Wednesday, you got issues. I'm sorry.
Just give me one thing,
you gotta
Adam.
celebrate Fridays.
No,
Come on.
you celebrate Monday like you celebrate
What?
Friday.
Are you kidding
I'm
me?
being so serious right now. I'm not joking.
Come on, you know everyone leaves the office early on Fridays.
Yeah, everyone. That's your guys'
Except for
problem.
Adam. He's out here working.
Except for Adam. Exactly. That's why
I'm
he
just
doesn't
saying.
like
I'm
Fridays.
being serious. You gotta. Monday's got to be like your Friday. If it's not, you got problems. I'm telling you right now.
That's why Adam's so happy every morning. You can't tell. That's his key to success.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, a lot of things were happening yesterday regarding the Lions. The cuts were happening, people. We have now a 53-man roster. Will it be the final one? We do not know because they can waive players up till 4 p.m. today. So, Adam, what did you think about the cuts yesterday?
I thought it was fine. I think we kind of overreacted on social media across the board regarding them dropping 2 kickers. This was like the kicker deal where we literally saw this happen earlier in the week. Teams do this. This is like nothing new. Nothing to overreact for. So I didn't mind it. I really didn't. I didn't like the Benson trade. It happened live on the show yesterday. And I went back home and I really thought about it. I said, okay, so we basically upgraded a 6th and a 7th, or a 5th and a 7th for a 6th,
Yep.
along with a wide receiver that had a good preseason. He was one of the better wide receivers for the Broncos during the preseason. But, again, it's preseason. He's going against 2s, 3s, 4s, people that are not going to be in the league. And, you know, that was one element. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it either. It's like, okay, that's fine. I don't expect him to be on the team next year unless he just is a diamond in the rough and they found something here. I slept very peacefully yesterday knowing Jelani Tavai is no longer a Detroit Lion. I mean, I haven't slept that good in a long time. Thank goodness. That, again, I always talk about looking for, little things. When your front office has not only the confidence, but the stability and the belief to make that gutsy of a call, to let him go. They tried trading him. Nobody wanted him. Everybody knew he was bad. And I'm glad for once in my lifetime that this front office actually realized how bad a player was and just cut him. But there are consequences with that. Well, what could they be, Adam? Well, this is the 12th second-round pick cut in the last 14 years. They're not cut, but they didn't see out their original contract. That's embarrassing. All 3 under the Quintricia era busted out. Carry-on showed promise, but again, unable to be on the field, so it was irrelevant. He showed promise year 1, and then year 2 and 3 were complicated. But again, so many mishaps in the second round. And here we are, year 1 under Brad Holmes. Their second-round pick, D lineman. Do we expect them to see out their contract? I hope he does. That'd be nice. It'd be a good change. But overall, there was nothing on the roster that shocked me, where I was overwhelmed or outside of Mike Ford. I think Mike Ford, like a Tom Kennedy or all these guys that were on the bubble of being cut, I think he deserved a roster spot as much as the others. Whether or not he gets picked up, we'll see. Maybe he becomes a practice squad player. But overall, it's good. It was good. It will change, though. They have the next 24 hours to waive players. They will get a kicker. Fox isn't playing both ways. Not happening. He just isn't. They're going to get a kicker. Don't overreact. They're just waiting. They want to see who's available. And they're probably going to bring in, I'd say probably a veteran just to get them through the year and then hold kicking competitions next offseason. Again, they're not trying to compete. You think for a second that they would have these type of receivers and be... I don't even want to get into that, honestly. Overall, again, I'm just really happy with how it went. I didn't think they made any overwhelming mistakes. The Tyrell Crosby thing, I'm a bit skeptical of, but I'm not too upset about. I can get over that. I can respect it. I can move on and say, all right, cool. You know what? He did have an injury problem. You want to move forward? I'm okay with that. It's a very deep offensive line. I'm not going to slate them for it. The Mike Ford thing, I think that may have been a missed opportunity on special teams, but Jeff, what do you think?
Not going to overreact too much. I think the celebration of Jelani Tavai not being on the team anymore is suitable, and I think that says a lot about Brad Holmes and maybe even Dan Campbell you could throw in there, because his ability to pivot from bad decisions. You know, looking at a Jelani Tavai, giving him a chance in the preseason, understanding we don't have a lot of depth at the linebacker position, but he was just such a bad football player. I mean, he was the third lowest graded Lions defender in the Pro Football Focus era, the entire era. So it's a big deal. So cutting ties with Tavai, and not having the balls to just let him play and just see if he'll work out for you, prove your decision right. Same with Perriman, signing up Rashad Perriman. We had high expectations for him, not extremely high, but he was going to be our second wide receiver, and his ability to say, listen, he's not good, cut ties with him. And even though we don't have very much depth at a lot of positions, it just tells you, number one, we're not going to be a very good football team, because considering most of these positions, key positions, are just lacking. Linebacker, wide receiver. It's just, and he acknowledges that. So I think that's one. And two is the kicker situation. Again, not to overreact too much. Randy Bullock, Dan Campbell's referenced multiple times in this training camp, the kickers were competing with each other. And clearly they both weren't, the coaching staff wasn't impressed with either of them. So, let them go through that free agency period. There's going to be a kicker we find
Dan
somewhere.
Campbell did come out and say, we plan on going for two a ton.
Yeah.
So this kicker position is not high priority for them. If you think they're going to be in football games where they really need 3 points late to make it a two-possession game, they're not there yet. Maybe next year, the year after, sure, but not this year. I'm not overwhelmed, or I'm not too upset.
No,
I'm not too upset with any of the moves. I still think Crosby had a role, but again, this is he's had 3 years. He has had a minute to prove himself. Availability is probably one of the most important things in the NFL. Again, I think he'll be a good backup piece somewhere else. I don't think he's going to be breaking into the starting lineup here in Detroit outside injury, so I'm not going to get too hung up on that. The Brashad Perriman thing, they ate the $2 million. Who cares? It just shows you, one, he wasn't available for most of camp and preseason. He didn't show enough when he was available, and that's pretty pathetic on his end, which basically tells me he's not getting another job, at least this season. Because if you can't make this Lions roster with that wide receiving core, that's not a good look. It's not a good look.
Yeah, I want to say too, because my man Shad in the chat said the Patriots have a worse wide receiver core and they're not complaining. I don't think nobody's complaining. It's the acknowledgement of where we are as a football team. You got to understand the Lions right now. They got Tyrell Williams. They got a rookie in Amon-Ra St. Brown. What do you really expect out of this group?
Jacoby Myers and Nelson Aguilar,
it's better wide receiver core,
are worse than Tyrell Williams, a rookie and an unproven second-year wide receiver. Oh, and Tom Kennedy and Trinity Benson, who's never caught a ball in the NFL. Come on, guys. Come on. Look, I know you support the team and all. That's amazing. I love it. But they got a bottom tier.
It's just facts.
And even if I sat here and said the Lions have a better wide receiving core than the Patriots, what does that mean? So they're 30th instead of 31st?
Right.
I mean,
what are we arguing?
Come on.
So overall, it's nothing to really overreact about or react about for that matter. I mean, you got a kicker situation that Dan's going to address. He already took a chance, a flyer on a Trinity Benson, and we'll see how that turns out. But right now, it's just making these guys constantly compete and finding a for sure 53-man roster for this week one against San Francisco, because that's all they're doing. Not making too many mind-boggling moves, but just doing their due diligence. That's really all that's happening.
Yeah, again, there is nothing in the initial 53-man roster that surprised me. I think we all felt Tom Kennedy was going to make the team. He had shown, that, a Swiss Army knife, essentially. A guy that can just do the job for you. Craig Reynolds got cut. Good story. There's always a good story in preseason, but that doesn't mean you make the roster all the time. And his only way to make the roster was going to be on special teams. It wasn't going to be at running back. There's DeAndre Swift. There's Jamal Williams. That's already 85, if not 95% of your workload throughout the season. And then the other 5% to Jamar Jefferson. So nothing surprised me. It was a good first announcement. I wasn't too caught off guard by anything. There was nothing outside of the kicking situation, but even then, you're not going to overreact to it because they're obviously going to pick up a kicker. They just want to keep these guys so they don't get waived and picked up somewhere else, and they keep them on the practice squad. So nothing too dramatic this morning. I will reiterate, I am so happy Jelani Tavai is gone. And I promise you, Detroit Lions fans, he will not go anywhere else and pull a Van Noy or anything similar to that. He will not go and become a much better football player. Believe me, he is brain dead on the football field. He lost weight. He did everything his coaches asked of him, and he still couldn't make the team. Why? He is actually brain dead. I know Joik tried to sit up here and defend the guy a few days ago, or last week, I should say. But no, not only did he have the angle on Najee Harris, no. The only thing he did right was push him to the sideline. He messed everything else up. Well, because you do one thing out of the 4 things you're supposed to do, I'm supposed to praise you. Like, it's not just hit. Whew. I'm so happy he's gone, Kennedy. I wish I could explain the joy that is, like, running through my body. The fact that this front office got rid of a player that, if on the field, would hurt the team much more than if he was just cut from the team. I love it.
It should say a lot, too, like Brad Holmes attempting to trade him and nobody taking a flyer on him. I doubt he was expensive. The guy's he is what he is. You probably could have got him for a high pick. No one took a chance on him. This isn't an Ebron. This isn't someone that is going to go somewhere else and play suitable for them. This is Jelani Tavai. We might not see him in the NFL again, but who knows? Someone might take a flyer on him, but I'll be intrigued to go against him because at least he'll be missing tackles, against us. So.
All right, well, coming up next, we're going to talk about those young QBs in the AFC East. But before that, we have to hear about our friends from Coast. Anyone?
Let me tell you about Coast. Bring that camera over here. Since 1919, Coast has pursued one mission: to make the working professional's job safer and life easier. Today, Coast lights are a favorite amongst tradesmen and women, outdoor enthusiasts, do-it-yourselfers, first responders, and more. Visit coastportland.com and use code 20% or WSN20 for 20% off your purchase. They stand by their products. They back them up with a lifetime warranty. Buying for your whole crew? Sign up with our Coast crew to take advantage of special discounts, early access to new products, and more. Again, that 20% off code is WSN20 right over there.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We are recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand.
Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10 and a half months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
a graduate
of Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Welcome back, everybody. You're tuning in to the Morning Wood on the Woodward Sports Network. So happy to have you here on this beautiful Wednesday. All right, so the AFC East, they've only got young quarterbacks now. This should be super interesting. The Dolphins have Tua. The Pats now have Mac Jones. The Jets have Zach Wilson. And now the oldest and most experienced QB in the AFC East at age 25 is Josh Allen. Jeff, what do you think about it?
I don't know what Adham has on his list, but I will say this. Josh Allen, we can both agree, is number one. We'll start right there. That's obvious. I think next is where we're going to start getting a little choppy. So, This is tough for me because Zach Wilson should be number 2 because of his ceiling and stuff. Like he's more athletic than Tua. He's got an arm on the guy, and if you see him in preseason, the guy throws a perfect ball, and I think he'll have success for the Jets. But I still got to get Tua over him. I'm putting Tua over him because number 1, he has NFL experience. He played his rookie year. He had 11 touchdowns, 5 interceptions in only 9 games. 3 of those interceptions were in 1 game. So
4 of those games he was benched in the fourth quarter because how awful he was.
But now,
continue.
I get you, but now he's going into his second year. He's got more weapons around him. So hopefully he takes that next step for guys like Zach Wilson. Haven't seen him play. The Jets don't have a very talented roster. I don't expect him to have a great season this year. Maybe in a couple of years what they're building, but I got Zach Wilson 3, and I got Mac Jones 4. And that's just based on strictly potential because Mac Jones is going to be fine. All right, I'm just saying Zach Wilson, if I had to rate right now, I think Zach Wilson just has more upside in terms of his athletic ability, and he's got an arm on him, and he's mobile. And then Tua, obviously. I just can't put Zach Wilson over Tua. He just hasn't played yet. It's just hard for me. It really is. But if you put Zach Wilson second, not going to argue with it. I mean, he might even be better than Tua.
Yeah, Zach Wilson is not number 2 on my list. Oh, my goodness.
So you got Mac Jones, too.
Young Jeff. You have Tua, number 2, correct?
Yes.
All right, so I've got Josh Allen, number 1. Easy. Mac Jones, number 2. He's the most ready now quarterback of this rookie class, maybe outside of Trevor Lawrence, that can just step into a situation and play football. And he's in a very good situation. They just cut Cam Newton, so he's going to be the week 1 starter.
Mm-hmm.
He's proven in the preseason, whether you want to say it was against B, C talent, I do agree there. But he showed, line him up against Cam Newton, he was able to run the offense for the Patriots much better. It's not what he did against 2s or 3s. It's who operated the New England offense for Josh McDaniels more efficiently. Mac Jones did it much more efficiently than Cam Newton, and Cam Newton's off-the-field inconsistencies regarding COVID probably played a huge role in him getting cut. But what played an even bigger role was Josh McDaniels, and Bill Belichick sat there and said, this kid is doing exactly what Cam is doing against 2s and 3s. We put them both against bad teams.
Right.
And the rookie is managing the offense much better. Mac Jones, to me, the second best quarterback in the AFC East. And I think it'll stay that way throughout the year. My number 3 is going to surprise you, Jeff. It's going to be Zach Wilson. It's not going to be Tua. Tua is going to be 4 on my list. Tua, you can look at his 64% completion percentage. Hell, I could complete 64% of my passes if all you asked me to do was take a 3-step drop or get in the shotgun and throw a quick slant route. Tua last year played way too prematurely. It was a really bad decision. How many times did Fitzmagic have to come in and bail them out? He wasn't ready. He didn't even know the offense. And he admittedly said, I didn't know what was going on half the time during the games. And that's why he played so bad. Tua's got a lot to prove.
So he got thrown into a bad situation.
Tua has as much to prove as Mac Jones, Zach Wilson do. It's a young division at quarterback. The youngest in NFL history ever.
Of course.
So you're not going to be insulting Tua by putting him at 2 or 4. It doesn't really matter. Where I stand with this is Zach Wilson has shown a lot of flashes of, wow, I like that. I really do. And Tua hasn't shown me much, even in the games he played last year. And you can look at it, his record as a starter, 6-3. Okay. Played on the Miami Dolphins. It's a top 10 defense. Brian Flores done a great job there. Now you look at that offense this year. I said it prior to the draft. The Miami Dolphins were going to go for a skill position player because they need to figure out if Tua is their future. They'll tell you he's the quarterback now, but they don't know, and I'm sure they have doubts. And come November, we're going to know whether Tua can play quarterback or not, whether he'll be a backup or he'll just be out of the league before his rookie contract. You'll find out by Thanksgiving this year. He'll get all the reps. He'll be the starting quarterback throughout the season. And if Miami drop off, it'll be because of Tua's play. And again, we're ranking them 1 to 4.
I want to know why you have Zach Wilson as the 4th quarterback.
I know you have Zach at 4.
No, I said, why do you?
I don't.
What do you have,
I
Matt?
have Tua at 4.
Oh, okay, 3. So
Zach
you have
Wilson
Mac
at 3.
Jones. I want to know that
Mac
argument.
Jones right now is the
Because
most...
Zach Wilson played great in the preseason, too.
He did.
So,
But Mac Jones
with worse players.
is in a way better situation. Mac
True.
Jones...
We're talking about individual QB, like their talent as a quarterback.
Well,
Like I get situations Mac's up there. He could be 1.
Tom Brady didn't
2.
have all the talent when he was with the Patriots, but he was just consistent, and
Right.
that's what I'm gonna even if you use that argument, I'm gonna stay with Mac Jones at 2.
Okay.
I'm getting the same thing out of Mac Jones week in and week out, and that's why they're going with the kid. They don't want Cam Newton starting up there, going 13 of 18, 200 yards, 70 yards rushing, and 3 touchdowns total.
Right.
And then the next week putting up a donut and just a bunch of turnovers. That's not how you win football games. You need consistency. I think Mac Jones gives the Patriots what they want, and they could be a 8, 9, maybe even a 10-win team just because of the consistency. Bill Belichick is going to have a top 10 defense. They have a top 3 offensive line. They're absolutely going to crush it in those pivotal third down situations. Why? They have 2 tight ends. Mac Jones has his safety blankets. You can look at Nelson Aguilar and N'Keal Harry and Jacoby Myers. Like, they're not world beaters, of course. But Josh McDaniels isn't asking them to be world beaters either. I really like Mac Jones. I think Robert Saleh and Zach Wilson can be something good. Tua's way too unproven. I believe Tua's way much more unproven than Mac or Zach Wilson. And that's why I have him at 4. I think he has the most to lose this year. Mac Jones and Zach Wilson are going into the year with, all right, it's year 1. Let's get some games under our belt. Tua's going in like, man, they're considering trading me for Deshaun Watson already. Like, I was hurt last year. I came in midseason.
Right, but that's not necessarily his fault. Like, 9 games,
you know what?
getting
His
thrown
play
in
wasn't
there.
that great.
I understand that, but you just made your own point. You said he came in, didn't know the playbook very well. He should never have started. So he started. He threw 11 and 5 in 9 games.
Which is why he's on the hot seat this year.
But
because again,
doesn't make
Miami is a win now team.
Right, and I understand
they
that.
are a team that should be competing in the AFC East. Do I think they have a similar roster to Buffalo? Yeah. The only difference is Buffalo's got a clear wide receiver 1 and a clear quarterback 1. You don't know with Tua. Jalen Waddle's your 1. Devontae Parker, Will Fuller. Those aren't 1s. Those aren't 1s yet. Jalen Waddle, not yet. Ideally, he turns out to be a 1 for them, but sorry. No. Tua's 4 on my list.
Let me say this, though. I don't really look into the whole... Tua, I can understand, but I could see him taking a sophomore jump a little bit. Like, you don't see this kid improving at all. Like, Josh Allen, 10 touchdowns, 12 picks in his rookie year. The fact that he was able to turn that around the next year, like, why? And Tua might be a little limited. But with Mac Jones, my argument is, with Zach Wilson and Mac Jones, I just think Mac Jones, his ability to process information is probably amongst top of that class. But he's going to rely on his arm a little too much. There's going to be situations where, with a guy like Mac Jones, New England has never been offensively eye-popping. So besides that point, Mac Jones on his feet, Zach Wilson is I believe, right now, and maybe we might have a different conversation in 3 years or so, but Zach Wilson, I just think, is a better quarterback because his ability to extend
I think he
plays.
can be a better quarterback,
Yes.
but Mac Jones right now is actually the better quarterback right now.
I disagree.
Does Zach Wilson have a higher ceiling than Mac Jones? Of course he does. But you know what Mac Jones offers that Zach Wilson won't throughout the season? I can guarantee you Zach Wilson is going to go through valleys and peaks this year. Not because he's just a rookie, but the way he plays is very aggressive. And again, you're going to get week to week, it'll be very inconsistent from Zach Wilson. He's going to make throws. He's going to show flashes. It's going to be awesome. But I know Mac Jones is going to drop back.
So he won't have
and
those
just
same...
make the correct decisions every single week. That is something Mac Jones gives me that the other two, Tua and Zach, don't. And that's why he's 2 on my list. Zach Wilson, and by year 2 or 3, can he be special? Sure. But Tom Brady is a proven example that you don't need to be special with arm talent, athleticism, or anything really. You just need to understand what you're doing.
But it does help.
Understand
Josh
your role.
Allen, it does help,
and
guys.
Mac Jones will grow into that. Zach Wilson.
I think Max. It is what what you got is what you got with Mac. Like, I don't see him
better
progressing.
than what you're getting from Zach and Tua right now.
No,
just
because
right now.
Okay, well,
ceiling. I'll agree with you. Zach Wilson should be 2 if we're going on ceiling.
But I just
but
don't.
Mac Jones is consistency that he's going to give the New England Patriots
What consistency have you seen? The preseason, they both played well, so that's not even like an argument we can bring up because Zach, I could say, well, Zach was consistent in the preseason. He made constant plays. He led 2 back-to-back touchdown drives with the Jets. Like he can.
Zach Wilson had a very impressive preseason.
So we don't know, like come regular season, but based on the preseason, I don't know how you could have
Zach Wilson is in a situation where they couldn't get Sam Darnold, wide receivers, or offensive linemen. The Jets still don't have an overwhelmingly talented roster. Zach Wilson,
and I agree with that,
is a rookie quarterback who's going to go against Bill Belichick twice. Good luck. Go look at the record on Bill Belichick when he plays young coaches. He's going against the Bills twice. Good luck. He's going against the Miami Dolphins twice. That is 6 games that Zach Wilson, I guarantee you, is going to struggle in. What I'm getting out of Mac Jones is I'm getting my 18 of 24, my 20 of 28. I'm getting the same thing every single game, and I expect him to limit turnovers. And that's how the Patriots are going to win football games year 1 with Mac Jones, because he still has to grow. He still has to develop the same as Mac Jones, the same as Tua. But right now, Mac Jones, of the 3, gives me the best opportunity to win football games heading into week 1.
So if you were the Jets, let's say they swap teams, Zach Wilson to the Patriots, Mac Jones to the Jets, do you feel the same way?
I feel like the Patriots would lose more games with Zach Wilson than they would win with Mac Jones.
That's interesting.
Because, again, Zach Wilson is special, but he needs time. Mac Jones is walking in and can run.
But he's not like a Trey Lance. He needs time. Like, the kid's going to play. He's going to play week 1.
Zach Wilson doesn't have a choice but to play in either situation. Because they just cut Cam, but you want to swap them. Zach Wilson doesn't fit what New England's trying to do. Zach Wilson is this, modern quarterback, dynamic, mobile, can make side angle throws. He can make very difficult throws. That's great. I love it. It looks great on TV. But he plays for the New York Jets. Don't forget that. A rookie head coach, Robert Saleh, year 1. The team is still inept of overwhelming talent. They need 2-3 years. And Zach Wilson needs 2-3 years so he doesn't throw 20, 30 interceptions over the next 2. Zach Wilson's going to be making a lot of mistakes. Mac Jones, not so much. 1, situation. 2, the way they play. Zach Wilson, risk taker, daredevil, willing to go outside the pocket, willing to run, willing to make plays. Great. I'm not asking Mac Jones to do that. If I'm Josh McDaniel, I'm not. And that's the reason why Mac Jones, for the first year of the 3, not only will be most successful, but he will show the most consistent amount of play. Tua, I'm going to get the same thing out of Tua that I'm getting from Zach. Inconsistent play week to week. I can almost guarantee it. He'll show flashes where he'll have a 2-3 week stretch where he's good, and then it'll be really bad. And again, keep in mind, Bill Belichick is in the division. Josh Allen, an MVP candidate, even struggles against Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick against young quarterbacks is a nightmare. And both of these guys got to play him twice. Mac Jones doesn't. That's why I have Zach Wilson in 2 or 3 and 4. Mac Jones 2 all day.
We'll leave it there. We got to revisit this later in the season.
Well, we got to go to break first. Next, we're going to talk about Cam getting cut. That surprised me a lot, but we'll get into it and see if it surprised these guys as well. But first, we have to hear from Adham about MyBookie.
All right, MyBookie, guys, it's football season. There is no better feeling, in my opinion, than betting during football season. Visit mybookie.com. Bet from anywhere, anytime. There's no location restriction. It's the easiest thing. Sign up today. Use code Woodward. They'll match your deposit up to 50%. You put in $100, they give you $50. You give them $50, they'll give you $25. But you probably should put in $200-$300. It's a free $150, guys. You can bet $25, $50 on the Niners to cover the spread. You could take the over on the Pistons wins. I'll share my bets with you. I will. I'll be a kind gentleman. But if you have a gambling problem, please do us all a favor. Be responsible. Call the National Problem Gambling Helpline at 1-800-522-4700. We'll see you after the break.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. And at Hall Financial, we treat our clients like family. And our number one priority is giving each of our clients 5-star service. Our passion for five-star service, combined with our expertise, allows us to find the best possible solution for refinancing your home loan. We take the time to focus on both the individual and the numbers. We're going to walk you through the process and close your loan in half the time of our competition. Go to davidhallmortgage.com today.
Welcome back, everybody. You're tuning in to the Morning Wood on the Woodward Sports Network. So happy to have you here. Thanks for hanging out with us. Well, Cam Newton got cut. I did not see this coming yesterday. This was probably my biggest surprise of all yesterday. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but now Mac Jones is the official QB of the Pats. But, Adam, were you surprised by this cut?
No, Cam Newton was the model of inconsistency last year. He didn't play well. He didn't. They won 7 games because they had really good coaching. They had injuries. But no, Cam Newton isn't, people forget, he came into the league, bursted onto the scene. I believe his rookie game, over 400 yards passing, completely took the league by storm. I believe by year 3 or 4, he was an MVP in the Super Bowl. And post-Super Bowl, it's been nothing but injuries and inconsistent football. It just has been. And if you can't make it work as a quarterback in New England, where are you going to make it work? Where's his next stop? Philly? Why does Philly want him? They have Jalen Hurts. What does Cam Newton offer any of these NFL teams? Nothing. He deserved to get cut. He just did. Sorry. He wasn't playing good enough. He was outperformed by a rookie quarterback playing against the same overall talent with the same players on the offensive side of the ball. I don't feel bad for Cam. His COVID stance, was it part of his downfall? Sure, yeah. Obviously, you're going to jeopardize our team and our ability to win football games? Like, whether you believe in the vaccine or not, that's on you. Everybody can make their own personal decisions. I could care less. All I know is I'm trying to win football games. And if you want to get paid millions to play on my football team, fall in line. Fall in line. You got to get the vaccine. Because I am not losing or forfeiting 2-3 games this year because your stupidity brings COVID into the building and we can't play football. I can't have it. Cam's time in New England was, what I think we all saw it from the beginning when he first signed. There was no way it was ever going to work out. His attitude, he's not a Jameis Winston. He wasn't going to mold and change himself overnight and really conform, not to the situation, but hey, like, I need to be more of a professional. My body, the way I handle myself, the way I speak, the way I communicate with my teammates, the way I handle practice. Am I staying late? Am I the first one in, last one out? That's what Jameis kind of went through, and look at him. Now he just got a starting opportunity in New Orleans. Fantastic. Cam Newton, on the other hand, the complete opposite. Didn't surprise me, and I'll say he deserved to get cut.
Yeah, it didn't surprise me either. When the Patriots signed Cam Newton back in March, it was already people in their seat wondering how long into the season he would last because it's just not the same Cam Newton. Post-injury, Belichick said it himself. He said, we're looking at a consistency and production to evaluate our quarterback. And Cam, like Adam just said, is the product of inconsistency. Like his play on the field, you can come out one game and throw for 300 yards and lead you to a game-winning drive, and the next game he's throwing 3 interceptions. So that's the trade-off. With a Mac Jones, there's less worries of that. He's a consistent. Obviously, he's a rookie. He's going to go through ups and downs, but he's a consistent quarterback. Like from what he's shown us, his ability to process information, he doesn't look like he's a step behind at all. And that's something Bill Belichick was obsessed with. For him to start a rookie quarterback and be this comfortable with it is impressive, and that says a lot about Mac Jones. And I don't think there's much Cam could do because the talent of Mac Jones just kind of creeped in, and the rookie won. And I think there's a team for Cam somewhere as a backup or something. Like there's teams that I believe have a quarterback room that's about equal as Cam Newton. Like you could argue, Teddy Bridgewater might be a better starter right now, but he could compete in that Denver. I mean, he's better than Drew Lock. I don't think Drew Lock's that good. So there's other teams he can go and possibly be a backup for, but it ain't with the New England Patriots.
Look, he didn't follow team protocols.
The COVID thing was a big deal.
That is, you don't do that in New England. Maybe you get away with it somewhere else. If you don't follow the rules, you're done.
Yeah.
They don't care who you are.
It's a business.
They will cut you. You knew this going into New England. And you said you wanted to prove that you could be a starting quarterback not only in the NFL, but you could be a true professional. You wanted to do all these great things. And you didn't do it. Sorry, I'm not going to feel bad for Cam. Where's he going to go? Give me a list of teams that he could possibly go to where he serves as a quality backup. You know who needs a backup off the top of my head? Maybe
I would say the Giants. They have Daniel Jones and they have a Mike Glennon behind him. I would take Cam Newton over a Mike Glennon.
I wouldn't.
Are you serious?
Why? What is Cam Newton giving me?
But what is Mike Glennon? It's just the talent in your
They're giving me
quarterback
the
room.
same thing. Mike Glennon at least understands my offense. He doesn't have to come in and learn it. Like, Cam's got to go in somewhere and learn. Why do I want that? Like, there's only one team I see Cam fitting in, and I can't believe I'm going to say it. The Dallas Cowboys need a backup quarterback. Rush? Cooper Rush is your backup?
Yeah.
To Dak? If Dak goes down again, this is an 0-17 quality football team. Just because of how bad their quarterback position is.
Why not Washington? You think?
I don't like Washington. No,
yeah,
I don't like Washington. I think they have something with Heineke as a backup.
Ron Rivera is not interested in that.
And Ron Rivera is not interested in that kind of character. Look, I think Dallas is a perfect fit for Cam. Honestly, it's probably the only job I can think of where it makes sense. If you're Dallas and Cam goes... not Cam. If Dak goes down, you don't have a plan B if you're Dallas. And you know what happens to teams that don't have a plan B and they have a good roster? They throw away their window to compete in the NFL. Now, is Cam Newton going to make them world beaters if Dak gets hurt? No, but he'll be able to push the ball downfield with that wide receiving core. He'll at least give them a chance game to game to win football games. But the same thing is always going to come up with Cam. Turnovers and inconsistent play. And whether you like it or not, he's not a starting quarterback in the NFL anymore. Never had back-to-back winning seasons. Yet we sit up here and act like this guy is the second coming of God knows who.
He was never the same after that shoulder surgery. It really changed the course of his whole career too. Like Cam's I think better than some guys that are in this league, but doesn't necessarily mean you deserve a starting job. I think off the top of my head, Adam mentioned the Cowboys. I think he could be a serviceable backup. Even the Texans, if they don't start, I don't think Cam would want to go there. But if they don't play Deshaun this whole year, why not take a flyer on him? I think he might be, him and Tyrod would compete for that position.
No. Again,
What?
like why am I picking up Cam Newton unless I really need a backup? I don't want Cam starting.
Then you know what?
You want to bring him to
Washington,
Detroit?
I don't see.
Start him, and then you'll lose all your games. Like
I could see a
Cam
couple
is a
teams.
backup. Cam is a backup. He's over a 14-game season, let's say. If he played 14 games, he probably gets you 2,700 yards, 15 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, 2 rushing touchdowns, maybe at this age. Maybe. He's not the Cam everybody likes to remember. He isn't. So I'm not signing him unless I'm Dallas. Dallas is the only spot that makes sense to me. It's the only one. How can I justify...
I don't agree, but I get what you're saying.
How can I justify bringing Cam Newton onto my roster? I don't care for how much it costs.
Right.
The guy is not good. He's not good. He lost to a rookie quarterback. He lost a starting job to a rookie quarterback. He played against 2s and 3s with his 1s, and he couldn't play better than the rookie behind him. Why? Because Cam doesn't do the little things right. And you want to go back to our previous discussion about the AFC East quarterbacks. This is why Mac Jones, year 1, could probably be the best quarterback playing in the draft class. He's in a good situation. He'll do the things he's asked of and nothing more. And that means for 17 games,
He's definitely got the best situation.
Bill Belichick and Josh McDaniels are going to get exactly what they want out of him, which isn't too much and it isn't too little. It's just enough to win us football games. And that alone is much more valuable than having Cam Newton, and that's why he was cut.
All right. Well, I can tell you, or actually Jeff can tell you, where you can go and get everything you want on your pizza. Go ahead and tell them about Papa Romano's, Jeff.
We're going to be talking about the Greek pizza. So I got to walk you through this. Go Greek with Papa Romano's. For a limited time only, Papa Romano's is introducing their new Greek pizza. It's a classic blend of bold Greek flavors and tasty Mediterranean toppings with tomatoes, olives, onions, feta cheese, and more. Get a large Greek pizza for $16.99.
Welcome to the Call Sam Chopper Shop, where you can win a custom-built chopper while helping our veterans at the same time.
Watch as the Bad Pig Custom team turns this bike into a one-of-a-kind classic chopper.
And when it's finished, we'll be donating the bike to Volunteers of America Michigan to raffle off in support of our vets.
A great cause to give back to those who've given so much.
Watch for Call Sam Chopper Shop episodes on our social media channels and get your raffle ticket today at callsam.com/chopper shop.
Welcome back, everyone. You're tuning in to the Morning Wood on the Woodward Sports Network. So happy to have you right here with us. All right, so we've talked about this a little bit already, but Tebow is now the 12th Lion, well, second-round pick Lion, to not play out his rookie deal since 2007. That's not a good look. But that being said, do you guys trust Brad Holmes, and will he correct all the old flaws that we are so used to the Lions making, Jeff?
Yes, and I will say it like this. His scouting ability, number one, is superb to a Bob Quinn or a Martin Mayhew, I believe.
Not me. Oh, whoa.
But let me name off some guys.
Let me
name off some guys that Brad Holmes has found in his short career with the Rams. And this is all second and third because
he was never the GM. Careful, you're comparing an assistant scout or
no,
lead scout.
I'm saying his scouting ability, like because Brad Holmes he has a background in scouting since he started in the NFL. Like he's been doing this for 15 years, whatever the case may be. So he's only knows scouting. I think Martin Mayhew may be better in a business sense than Brad Holmes in other areas. But if your only job is to scout collegiate players when you come to a team, you shouldn't hit on second-round picks, third-round picks. Like, let me explain what the Rams got. They got Gerald Everett, second round. LaMarcus Joyner, second round. Van Jefferson, who's a starting wide receiver, second round. Cam Akers, second round. Cooper Kupp, third round. John Johnson, third round. I can keep going. Like these are what the Rams have picked up in the last couple years, and that itself is better than the Lions have done, and that's not a bad thing. It's just being realistic. Brad Holmes is coming to this organization and already taking, Lee McNeil, Levi Ozarike, like knowing what he has as a football team and addressing that through the draft. And I think his talent evaluation is off the charts because he was so high, and you could tell even before the draft there was guys he was high on that other teams were high on as well. Like he had, I think he had like Trey Lance as the second or third best player. No way we were going to get him, but he takes his time with evaluating these players. I don't think he'll miss. There's not going to be a whole lot of Jelani Tavais unless they're in the 7th round or whatever the case may be. I think he's going to take impact players right away. That's all he knows how to do. He's taken all these players right here that have been starters for the Los Angeles Rams. So to answer the question, no, I think that tide's going to start changing. I mean, he might have a pick here or there that doesn't work out, but for the most part, trust Brad Holmes. He's got a resume and he's got the football knowledge to make the correct picks, and that's how I feel about it.
Okay, this is so weird to talk about. Trusting Brad Holmes. So far, so good with Brad Holmes.
All right.
I'm not going to nitpick whether it's the Brashad Perriman situation or it's way too early. It's way too early, and you say things like, well, he's not going to have something like a Jelani Tavai. One, we don't know that, but two, nobody knew who Jelani Tavai was when he was drafted. That is just incompetence at its finest from previous regimes. But to compare him to a Mayhew, I would leave him out of that or say that he's already better or more trustworthy.
I'm not saying already better.
This is Brad Holmes' first gig as a GM. And when you're a GM, yes, everyone looks at free agency. They look at the draft. But you got to get two things right when you're the GM of a football team. And if you don't, I don't care who you drafted, you're gone. If you can't get the head coach and the quarterback right, I don't care how great of an eye you have for talent. It is irrelevant. So if Brad Holmes is a man of his word and insists that Jared Goff isn't a bridge quarterback and that he's the quarterback of the future, well, Detroit Lions fans, I'll guarantee you Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell will both be out of a job along with Jared Goff in 3-4 years if they commit to him. It's not going to work. But no, I don't think that little of Brad Holmes. I think he'll be better than that. I think he'll draft a quarterback. I think he'll make the correct decisions. I think he'll continue to add talent to this roster that is totally void of talent. And they'll be a very good football team, ideally, in 2-3 years. Having said that, Brad Holmes, since the day he started, he's already got one bullet in the chamber that'll save him. And that was his ability to get 2 first-round picks and a bridge quarterback for an aging Matthew Stafford. It's a great deal. It's a great, great deal. That was already win number 1. Win number 2, you may ask. Well, I'm sure all of you think I'm on the Penei Sewell is a bust train, even though I'm not, but I'll let you think what you think. Penei Sewell fell to him in the draft. And instead of being smart and trying to trade back or maybe go for somebody different, you know what? They took the guy that they wanted. He was on their board. He was at the top of their board. They wanted him, and he fell, and they got him. Great. Good job. Round 2, address the D-line. Round 3, O-line. Round 4, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Round 7, Jamar Jefferson. Cool. It's all good things. Will they pan out and become very good players? I do hope so. I do hope so. But to answer your question, Kennedy, do you trust Brad Holmes? Yeah, he's done a good job so far. But I'm going to warn all of you at home. When you're GM of a football team, I don't care how well you draft. I don't care how smart you are in free agency or how shrewd you are in contract negotiations. If you can't get your head coach and your quarterback right, you don't have a football team. That, I promise you. So if you do want to pull a Bob Quinn and not realize just how bad Matt Patricia was after 1 season and not get rid of him going into year 2 and tying yourself to him, Bob Quinn could have saved his job if he would have fired Matt Patricia midway into year 2. I almost guarantee it. But he didn't. And we'll see what Brad Holmes does. Because I expect a losing season for Dan Campbell this year in the Detroit Lions. Not because of Dan Campbell, though. It's just this is not a very good football team. But next year, I do expect 7, 8, 9 wins. Mm-hmm. And then the year after, I expect to be division contenders because you've added 2 years of talent. And you've had 2 years to grow the talent you walked into with. It's not a tough ask. And if you can't do that by year 3, well, excuse me, people's jobs are going to be questioned. It's that simple. It's that simple.
Yeah, I think he's doing a great job. I mean, there's nothing else really to add.
It's too early to say great job, and I think he's doing a good enough job.
Well, he's done it. I would say great job because he took so far. I'm not going to say if you take a guy in the 4th round in Derek Barnes and he already replaces a 2-year starter, like that means your scouting ability is pretty impressive. And I think that's the number one thing I'm looking at for this team. You need to be able to scout. I mean, yes, make business decisions. We've saw he knows how to make deals. I mean, trading for Matthew Stafford 2 first-round picks. But for this team and where we are now, it's about his scouting ability, and he's done a great job.
Okay,
and let me say this too. Penei Sewell, he might be the lowest-rated rookie right now, but don't say that's an excuse. Oh, he did his first pick didn't work out. Give him a year. Wait for these guys.
I'm going to give Brad Holmes time. He's got time.
Yeah, you got all the time.
Brad Holmes has an important decision to make. Because I'm telling you right now, it's going to be an ugly offseason. Come 2022, if they go through a draft and don't select a quarterback and they say they're committed to Jared Goff.
That's a problem, yeah. You're failing the test.
You got to draft a quarterback next year. If you don't, you better announce your intentions to draft one in 2023. You've got 4 over the next 2 years in the first round.
Got to grab one.
You better grab one. You better grab one. And if you don't, and you want to attach your hip, or go hip to hip with Jared Goff and Dan Campbell, well, Brad Holmes, good luck. It won't be good. It won't be good. I don't want to come off like I'm being a skeptic, but to be fair, Jared Goff declining the last 3 years. That's what we're banking on. Unproven head coach, 4-7, I believe, is an interim head coach. He's got nice pieces around him. I like his coaching staff. I like the diversity. I like his communication skills. Good. I'm all for it. Mm-hmm. But you still got to be able to not only win football games, but you need to improve the players that play for you. Something clearly Matt Patricia couldn't do. And even something to an extent Jim Caldwell couldn't do. So, yes, Dan Campbell, you have a 5-year contract. Or I believe a 6-year contract. What are you going to do? Because I promise you, if this isn't an 11-win team by year 3, it's a failed project. This is the NFL, the league more than anything, where if you just hit 2 players, 3 players, if you're lucky, but if you just get 2 a draft, mm-hmm. that is enough to compensate for almost 30% of your starting 11. If you just hit on 2 out of 7 picks every year, you're going to have a good football team. And then you make some good free agent signings. And again, guys, this is the master plan. I'm telling you, it's bulletproof. Jared Goff is a bridge quarterback. You move on from him after 2 years, whether you have sat your rookie for a year, whether you played him year one, or you draft him in 2023 and he goes into the year as a rookie. It doesn't matter. Why? Because you're opening up so much salary cap. You can go bring in savvy vets, and you'll have a very, not only a young, talented roster, but you'll bring in the vets that compensate it. Look at this team. It is one of the youngest in the NFL. They've got 5 vets, I believe, over the age of 30 or 31. This is a young team that's going to make young decisions, which aren't going to win you football games. Excuse me, 10 wins is not happening. But that's okay, because year 2, you should expect to win 7, 8, 9. And then year 3, the expectation should be 10, 11, 12, because we're getting better every year. Our coaching's getting better. Our players are getting better. We've added pieces. This is how you build a football team. Not Jared Goff comes in and you want to trash on Stafford. Whether we can agree that he was not all that in Detroit, all we want. But if you want to sit here and tell me Goff is a better solution than Matthew Stafford at quarterback going forward, what are you guys doing? We won the trade. Get over Stafford. But don't sit here and tell me Goff is a better quarterback. He's not. And you'll see it in LA. If they can stay healthy, that's going to be a team that doesn't, they're not just, oh, they're a wild card team. They're going to be contending for the division, something they clearly couldn't do in Detroit. And they're going to be contending in the playoffs. That's simple. That's simple. Jeff?
I mean, that's it. We've just been repeating the same thing. So overall, give him a year, and we'll judge him in a couple years, because that's important. He did pretty good this draft. Wait till next draft. Wait till the next draft, and we can kind of, grade him in collectively, and not just be like, all right, he's a great GM off this draft. Just give him a couple years. We'll be good. Evaluate him.
Yeah, well, obviously cuts and the waivers and everything is what's on everybody's mind right now, because it's what's happening the most recently. So is there anyone you wish they would have hung on to that they cut, or do you see anyone that got waived?
Now that I got what I wanted, which was Jelani Tavai cut, now that I'm whole inside, I kind of wish they didn't cut him now.
Oh,
because
stop.
I would have preferred him on the field, absolutely sucking, and just all but securing us a top 3 pick in the draft. But
Jeff, help.
It's hard. It hurts me a little bit, but I'm still whole inside.
I'm not. Listen, I'm not. If Brad Holmes or Dan Campbell want to release somebody, I trust them. So I'm not gonna sit here and be like, this guy should have came back, or Mike Ford should have came. There's obviously other guys they see that are better than these players. So just trust them over my football IQ, and let them deal with it.
All right. Well, a lot of you guys always ask, where am I sitting, And I always try and say, this is Lady Jane's right there behind me. And you guys always want to know where you can get hair like Jeff and Adam's, or eyebrows like
I'm in
mine.
the Jeff conversation.
Have you seen the comments?
The comments, they go crazy for your guys. Is like sometimes a little bit of your hair comes down in curls. The chat goes nuts. They love the curl.
I'm being compared to Jeff. This is an honor.
I promise you, I would not lie. They
Are you
love
sure?
your guys' hair. Promise. They call this the flow show.
Oh, God.
Oh, a fist bump is happening.
That's
right.
a bro moment
well,
right there.
Jeff,
all right,
tell them where they can go.
let me tell you about our people at Lady Jane's, because, guys, let's be honest. We like simple stuff, like football 5 days a week. We like the things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's haircuts for men. Walk in, sign in, sit down, and before you know it, you're handsome and clean. Get to Lady Jane's, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime, because it's wicked awesome.
Tony is a third-generation logger that has a simple, practical approach to life and work. That's why his Coast DX342 knife is perfect for him. The stainless steel blade is rust-resistant and made for all-weather use. And the double roll-lock safety ensures that it will never inadvertently close when he doesn't want it to. That's why Coast is trusted tough.
Back, everyone. Okay, so we are implementing a new Wednesday segment, if you will. Adam is really mad at me right now because he is just now reading my questions for Would You Rather Wednesdays. It's going to be so much fun, but you'll see why he's mad in a second. So we'll just get this whole thing started. All right, my first question. Would you rather, knowing what you know now, full disclaimer, take Jalen Green or Evan Mobley at 1? Tate is not an option.
Tate is not an option.
You have to
I
take
think
one
we
of the
might
two.
mutually agree with this one.
Oh, I don't think so.
Who are you taking?
Who are you taking?
Green.
Oh my God! You're taking that bum, that loser. That guy has a loser attitude. He's got all about me. That's who you're taking. I'd rather build around Evan Mobley than Jalen Green.
Evan Mobley.
Jalen Green is the definition of a piece of crap.
Okay, that's besides the point. He's a
I don't
talented
want to build my
basketball
team
player.
around a narcissist who thinks he's all that. I don't. That's not
That's
team
just
basketball.
to Detroit. He's
well,
not.
no, it's not about just Detroit. No.
It's
no, it shows a lot about his immaturity. I'm not interested. Give me Evan Mobley.
All right, good luck with that.
Give me Evan Mobley all day. Give me Evan Mobley all day. It's not even close. Keep Jalen Green as far away from me as possible. I am not interested. No, Jeff. No. Evan Mobley. You can go ahead defend Jalen Green all you want. I don't need a 25-point-a-game scorer in 3 years who just ball hogs and gives me Russell Westbrook, James Harden results. Thanks. It's not what I want.
And this isn't me, fanboying. Listen, I wanted Cade Cunningham. I was a fan of Jalen Green's game, but after all the comments and stuff, but over Evan Mobley, this is a guard league. And I'm taking Jalen Green because, number one, he has the ball in his hands. He can make plays. Evan Mobley, I need guys to get him the ball. And let's be honest, if I'm in a finals game, I want the guy who can get a bucket at any time. Evan Mobley, you saw it in the summer league. He just looked a little... he's got a little more time to develop. Jalen Green looks like he can come in and play right now, and if I'm taking one of the two, I'm going the guy that can come in and get buckets right away. And he's athletic, and that's it, really.
Well, since we like to ask really weird questions here, whether I have to take Jalen Green or Mobley, let's say I didn't take Mobley. Let's say I took Green. I would take Jalen Green on the sole fact that I would intentionally crash his private plane when we drafted him, so nobody in the league would have to deal with him. Is that fair?
Is that a threat?
You know what?
It's not a threat. It's how do you put me in a position where I have to take this bum? I don't want to take him. I'm taking Evan Mobley. Sorry.
I'm with you, Adam.
Jalen Green
Jeff.
thinks he's the best thing since what? Sliced bread?
Yeah.
Hey.
That's the saying.
Looks
he's
like
close
Andrew
to
Wiggins
it.
to me.
I mean,
No, he's not. Jeff,
he's-
you better take that back.
No,
Everyone's
he's
gonna come for
he's
you.
pretty talented.
Cancel Jeff.
Listen,
I can't wait till Jalen Green comes and plays in Detroit. I'll be outside the LCA with a bat.
Jesus, we know this is the side. This is Adam. He's got a haircut. And he's ready to kill people now.
Right. He looks good. And all right, question number 2. Are you boys ready? Would you rather? Adam is so pissed about this one. Listen to Tim Tebow preach for 8 hours straight, or a Stephen A. rant for 8 hours. Which one are you listening to, Jeff?
I gotta go Stephen A. rant because number one, I could learn something. Stephen A. Smith would be preaching, and I could be like, all right, Stephen A., go off, and then I can kind of take some stuff in. With Tim Tebow, I would just fall asleep. I can't do it. If as long as Stephen A., I'm actually gonna laugh at. All right, it's funny. His rants are hilarious. So you know what? I'm going Stephen A. What are you gonna pick? You gonna pick the preaching? What are you?
This is the worst question ever. I have to listen to Tim Tebow talk about God for 8 hours, or Stephen A. talk about nothing for 8 hours. This is horrible.
Yeah. So which one?
This is
are you
a
taking?
horrible question. Oh my God! I take the Tebow preaching. I think I'd go crazy though. I think I would die sooner.
Yeah.
I think I would die. Well, that's what I want to do. I want to die. If I have to listen to both of these guys for 8 hours, I'll die sooner listening to Tebow talk for 8 hours than I will Stephen A. At least Stephen A. it's about sports. Granted, he doesn't know what he's talking about, but at least in sports, I can kind of understand it.
Right.
Talk about, oh my goodness, I can't. Tebow?
See, Detroit Dabber.
This is horrible. I hate this
Detroit
question.
Dabber. I completely agree with you.
What'd
He
he
said
say?
Stephen A. because at least it'd be sports related. What do you? If you're gonna listen to this man talk about Jesus Christ, that's fine. But respect your values. But I'm falling asleep. And then maybe that's what you want to do.
At least when I die though, I'm gonna go. God's gonna talk to me. He's like, hey man, what's going on? I died, but hey, I was at church listening to Tebow talk for 8 hours. Is that something? And then I'll be like, all right, honestly, it's a great point. Then he'll talk to Tebow, and Tebow will be like, yeah, man, he was there. I saw him. Unfortunately, he passed away. And it's like, everybody's happy. Everybody walks away happy in this situation.
You know what?
I'm taking my ticket. I'm taking my free ticket from Tebow. I'm not listening to Stephen A. for 8 hours. Because I won't die listening to Stephen A. I will die listening to Tebow, and that means I'm a good Samaritan.
I'm laughing, dude. Thomas just brought that. He goes, Tebow has won more playoff games than Adam's hero, Stafford.
Stafford is not my hero, man. Careful who you're talking about. We're talking about the guy who's 8-67 against winning teams, but he did play for the Detroit Lions. So whether you want to admit it or not, he's played for the worst organization in the last 60 years. So
I love poking at him.
I am genuinely surprised that the majority of the chat says that they say, give me Tebow easy.
Yeah, because when you die listening to Tebow at church, it's like a ticket to heaven.
Right.
You know?
That's
At least that's what I think it is.
But
so I'm taking my bet on listening to Tebow talk about God for 8 hours, then Stephen A. talk about... Stephen A. would make me hate sports. And I would never die listening to Stephen A. But I would hate sports. With Tebow, I'll just die. I'll just die right away. In the first 8 hours. I get a free ticket to heaven. I'm chilling. Tebow put in a good word for me. He'd be like, you know what, honestly, he came to church
He's got
today.
God's phone number.
He was here for 8 hours. He was here for 8 hours. It was impressive. He did pass away, but he was here for 8 hours. I got a free ticket. I'm taking the free ticket. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
True. I mean, you're probably not wrong. All right.
Wait, hold on. Fish, can't get your opinion. You're breaking the tie.
Yeah. Oh, we need to get Fishy's opinion.
What are you
Good
doing?
call.
You're listening to Stephen A. Smith preach about sports, or you listening? Not preach. Now you got me. Preach about God for Tim Tebow, or talk about sports for Stephen A. Like, what would you rather listen to for however long?
8 hours.
8 hours
straight.
as a shift.
My answer is, you might not be able to hear me, Jeff. My answer is really easy. It's Stephen A. Smith.
Really?
Yeah, easiest answer I've ever made in my life. It's easily Stephen A.
He
Smith.
said the easiest decision he's ever made in his life.
Yeah, it's no question Stephen A. Smith.
Why?
Oh,
because
no
I love that. I love hearing that guy talk.
You like what?
I love hearing him talk.
You love hearing him talk?
I kind of agree.
You are betraying
I can't
your
believe that LeBron James did that over Evan Mobley. It's the greatest thing ever. Blasphemous. It's just great
So you're
TV.
telling me you would rather listen to some dude yell about sports
Not easy.
than hear some dude preach about God?
Yes.
What's wrong with you, Fish?
Oh,
I'm
in 2
starting to doubt
seconds.
who you are as a person.
Why you should have known that? I don't know why you didn't. No, I either would choose Stephen A.
I
Do we get
actually
your
agree
opinion?
with Fish, though. I love Tim Tebow, right? Everyone knows this about me. But the one thing I don't love about Tim Tebow is I think his voice is so annoying.
Yeah, but he's like super optimist, and like even if it's not about God, even if he's just like, hey man, like, you know, if you're overweight, you gotta get to the gym, you gotta get on a diet. Like, I would still die listening to Stephen A. Or not Stephen A. To Tim Tebow. Like, I can't listen to Stephen A. for 8 hours. I would hate sports.
What if it was Tim Tebow on the SEC network when he used to be there?
I didn't listen.
That
I
was
don't,
still
I don't
sports.
listen to the SEC network. I watch Michigan and Michigan State football. I could care less about the SEC network.
But what if you had to listen to him 8 hours on the SEC
I would
network?
rather listen to Tebow talk about baseball than Stephen A. talk about sports for 8 hours.
This says more about Adam's hate for Stephen A.
It's not that I hate Stephen A. He's so annoying.
It's just annoying. Your hate that you don't like listening to.
They're both annoying. This is a horrible question. Move on. What's the next one?
All right, next. Would you rather? In Detroit's current dilemma, have Prater or Golden Tate back?
Oh, this is easy. Come on.
Okay.
This isn't spicy. You'd rather have Matt Prater. I'd rather have Matt Prater.
Yeah.
Me too. I miss him.
Well, he's just
he's so
funny.
Yes, of course. He's a great teammate.
What's Golden Tate gonna do? Take reps from Amon-Ra St. Brown? No. Give me Matt Prater. This is an easy one. Come on, Kenny.
Wow, we all agree. Fish, you
weak.
agree? You taking Prater?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Fish likes kickers. We'll do that.
No, true. Fish gave me a whole rant this morning about, I was like, Fish, we don't have a kicker. What are we going to do? And what did you say? Football is a disgrace to the real football.
No,
my gosh,
we
I
don't
got
need a
whole
kicker.
rant.
Fish, don't talk about football, all right? You're in America. If you ever bring up the word football and do not associate it to the NFL, I will come in there and I will do something to you you don't want me to do.
The game that they kick like 1% of the time?
Fish, we're going to fight
They
after
kick
the
the ball
show.
1% of the time. Football is with your feet.
Is that true? Because there's punting and kicking in football too. So.
Yeah, 1% of the time. Other
Not
games
1%
that have
of the
called
time.
football have more kicking in it.
It's still an aspect of feet to ball contact. It's football.
Yeah, 1% of
Kennedy.
the time.
They're not calling it handball, Fish. Get over it.
It should. You're
Yeah, handball
throwing
already
it.
exists.
You're not
Get
kicking
over it.
it.
Stop trying to ruin my country. Get away from me.
I'm not ruining your country.
Get away from me.
Adam versus
It's
Fish.
common
Go
boxing.
support the
sense.
Dallas. Go
Common
support the Dallas
sense.
Cowboys, Fish. Go support the Dallas Cowboys. Get out of my face.
sense.
Get out of my face.
All right, final question of the segment. Adam's probably going to get mad at me for this one, too, because it's another silly one.
There's two more.
Oh, I forgot. Okay, I did a good job. Okay. Would you rather wear Jalen Green's draft night outfit, let us not forget the sparkly silver number, for the rest of your life, or one of Andy Reid's Hawaiian shirts for the rest of your life?
Oh,
Adam? What are you picking?
What are we doing?
This is an
here?
easy one here.
Yeah, Andy Reid's Hawaiian shirts.
Okay.
I'm not gonna look like that every day. I'd rather.
But it has to
at
be
least
Andy
with the
Reid's
Hawaiian
size.
Old school Michael Jackson.
At least with the Hawaiian shirts, if I ever let myself go, I could kind of compensate for it.
Right. It would still fit.
I could still I could still pull it off.
All right, listen.
I'm going Hawaiian shirts, and honestly, who doesn't want to look like Andy Reid? I'd rather be as heavy as Andy Reid than look like Jalen Green right now.
Okay.
Physique-wise.
I'm definitely going Hawaiian shirt as well.
Good man.
I could rep that Hawaiian shirt. I don't know about that suit. He looked like old school MJ. I don't want to. No, it ain't my style. So give me the Hawaiian shirts.
She did say it has to be Andy Reid's size, so you're wearing
Yeah,
like a
it's
3 or
Andy
4
Reid's
XL
actual
size
shirt.
Hawaiian shirt.
Yes.
Oh yeah, the sweat.
Yeah,
give me all that.
I'll eat a burger from him. As long as it's nothing to do with Jalen Green, I'm cool.
Right.
Keep me away.
Okay, now final question. God, why did I even put this on here? Would you rather have Tom Brady's college body or Mac Jones' body? We'll start with Jeff because I'm scared of Adam.
That picture with Mac Jones that came out after that championship game, and he had the cigar in his mouth and he had the gut out, and then you have Tom Brady. You know what? Give me Tom Brady. You know why though? This is underrated because he's lasted so long in this league with that dad bod. Something's up. You know, he's something's up with his body. He's able to last for a while. That dad bod.
Whose college body would you want right now? That's the question.
Give me Tom Brady. Because you know what?
Tall, lanky.
It was
Weird.
so
What is Mac Jones? He's like
Nipples look
thick.
really weird.
I thought that's not your forte. Is men with
I would rather have Mac Jones's body.
Wow.
Chicks dig a dad bod.
They really do.
All right. Tall, lanky, skinny is super overrated.
It was
You're
weird.
not in shape.
Right.
When you have a dad bod, you're kind of in shape, but you kind of just drink too much beer and eat too much fast food or.
That's Mac
fried
Jones'
food.
body.
Well, that's Mac Jones. I'd rather have a Mac Jones body. That means I'm doing it right.
You're
I'm still
doing it
getting
right.
the ladies and I'm eating good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Give me Mac
Jones
Jones.
for sure has the ideal dad bod. Tom Brady's, he used to get told that he had a dad bod as well, but his was so awkward. I don't know if it's his
Him
height.
out of college, he looked like an alien with weird nipples. It was weird.
It was weird. No, I agree.
I would rather
picture
look
of
like
him-
Mac Jones
All right.
than have that lanky Brady body.
It was lanky, but it was still there was a little bit of pudge. It was very bizarre. It was very bizarre. I would go with Mac Jones as well. What about you, Fish? Did you see the picture?
I did not see the picture.
Oh, okay. Then you probably can't speak on
Fish
the
is too
topic.
busy talking about soccer or football, excuse me.
Football. The
Unbelievable.
true one.
I'm just saying that all the other footballs in the world use a feet and ball more than American
We're not having
football.
this conversation, Fish. I'm going to fight you after the show.
That's fine. I was
He goes,
prepared
"That's
for
fine."
it from I don't know, last December.
All right. Well, if you don't have a model-esque body like Tom Brady with the weird nipples, there's a job out there for you somewhere. Probably at, I don't know, maybe our friends at Northwestern Tech. Anyone want to tell us about that?
Well, Jeff, what are you looking at me, buddy? That's your boy.
Hey, listen, I got a Papa Romano's read, and that's about it for you, folks.
Oh.
So,
Well, just tell them about Northwestern.
all right,
Just,
you know
the drill by now, hopefully.
Hurry up, Jeff. What's wrong with
Come
you?
on,
I
Jeff.
don't have Northwestern. I got Coast.
All right, I'll
Papa-
do it then.
No,
What's
hold
wrong
on.
with you? You don't know how to say it? You don't have it memorized? Just say it.
Even
Listen,
Joik Bell hasn't memorized.
I'll do it off the top. Find a new career at a place that gives a damn about you. Northwestern Tech. All right, they provide great opportunities for all these young men, especially the one right above me there.
In the heating and cooling industry.
The heating and cooling industry.
It's always essential.
It's always essential.
Visit northwesterntech.edu.
Visit northwesterntech.edu.
Okay, you thirsty little spin goblins. I want you to pedal into the next dimension. Spin it! Spin! Spin! Uh-oh! Carmen's falling behind. Let's give her the hiss of shame. Spin! Spin! Spin till you bleed!
Don't ride the bike of shame. Come to Planet Fitness and find your own lane with tons of equipment, free fitness training, and no hissing. Join today for just $10 a month.
Back, everybody. You're watching The Morning Wood on the Woodward Sports Network. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. It is Wednesday. I don't care what Adam says. I'm excited to be halfway through
You
my
need to be
week.
excited every day you wake up.
All right. Well,
Humble
we
yourself.
can't all be you. All right. So we're going to talk about which NBA duo you rather have. I want to hear from you guys. Jeff, honestly, just take this away because you know the drill.
All right.
You're the NBA guy.
I'm about to break this down for you. I don't know what Adham has on his sheet, and this is tough because both teams like counter each other. Like you can go, well, Luka and Dirk are just so superb offensively. But then it's like, all right, well, AI is going to pick the ball every time away from Luka, and Embiid will just block he'll just body Dirk. He'll just body him. So, but then you could say, well, Dirk will shoot over. It's a never-ending argument. So I'm going to be honest with you.
How about you just focus on you and don't worry about me?
I already know what he's going to say. So let's start with Embiid. Number one, Embiid would absolutely bully Dirk in the lane. Dirk's not stopping him. He was never, he was never defensively talented at him. You can say whatever you want. He's not. He's a better shooter. I think Embiid will surprise a lot of people with his shooting ability. But obviously, Dirk is a better player all time. But I'm going, this is the 2v2. This is a 2v2, guys, all right? AI.
No, this is which duo would you prefer?
Yes.
To
2v2.
have on your team?
Yes. Did you not just hear what I said? It's two.
Forget 2v2. Just going forward.
Okay. I didn't really take it like that.
Yeah.
I think it's 2v2. I think that's what we're doing. Because why would you? I don't know. Because then you got to think, well, what's my team around them?
This is like, would you
what's
rather,
my team around them? Like,
well, no, forget the team around them. Which two would you rather start your team with?
No, that's not the way to answer it. It's how they, because I'm taking Luka because he's young. I don't know.
No,
AI and Embiid.
You're taking them both in their young prime.
Look at it as a 2v2. This is what you need to answer. Like they're 2v2. You're at the court up the street. Luka walks up with his high socks on. Dirk's got his headband on. Embiid and AI pull up. Who you taking in that 2v2? And I got AI and Embiid because number one, Luka's not guarding AI. He's not. And you could say, well, AI's not guarding Luka. Yes, but he can strip the ball away. He's shown that over his whole career. He's a defensive player that just doesn't play a lot of man-to-man defense, but he can pick the ball away. And Luka is a streaky shooter. He's not a better shooter than AI. AI can hit mid-range pull-ups. He can get to the lane at any moment. And I think he'll just outclass Luka. I think Luka will somewhat hold his own. And then Embiid versus Dirk, it's just
you're underselling Dirk. Dirk Nowitzki
and Dirk can shoot,
a much better player than Joel Embiid. It's not even close.
I'm not saying
Joel Embiid won't even go down as a top 10 center in the NBA.
We're not talking. I'm talking about 2v2.
Even top 15. And we're talking about him in a 2v2 situation being better than a top 6, top 7 power forward of all time. Are you kidding me?
That's regardless.
Are you kidding
doesn't
me?
matter.
Dirk Nowitzki would run the floor over Joel Embiid.
What would happen on the other end?
Okay.
Because at least Embiid's length could give Dirk problems.
It won't give him problems.
Yes, it was.
No, he had an
He's 7'1".
He had an unguardable shot.
I understand.
He went
that.
against Tim Duncan in his prime.
I understand.
Kevin
that.
Garnett. You think Embiid's sniffing any of those guys? No.
And you think Dirk wants that smoke in the paint?
What smoke? Embiid is the biggest baby.
Oh my!
If he was anything close to a man, he wouldn't be as. Oh my goodness! Like Joel Embiid is just a little bully who thinks he's all that. But deep down, he ain't got nothing on Dirk Nowitzki. Now, the AI Luka one is tough. AI's got Luka in the bag.
Yes.
He's got him in his pocket. AI's a better defender. He's a better one-on-one ball player. But
I'm talking 2v2.
I think Dirk is so much better than Embiid that it'll compensate for AI being better than Luka. I'm going to take Luka and Dirk. Embiid's a little... I can't swear, so... You can imagine what I want to say about Embiid, but he is everything he's called Andre Drummond. They're the same player. Embiid is just much more talented on the offensive side of the ball. That's all. I don't like Embiid. I don't think he's that good. He's overrated.
And you can have that
he's
opinion.
Never available. But in a 2v2 game, all I got to do is kick him in the leg, and his ACL tears, and he can't play for the rest of the game. Then it becomes 2v1, and I win. So, sorry, buddy.
Who's stopping? Listen, it's tough because both guys...
Embiid isn't some solid defender. AI... is like the biggest problem I have right now. AI is going to shut down Luka.
Listen,
and it won't be pretty. And I'll agree with you on that. It won't be pretty. AI is the best defensive player on the list. Luka doesn't play any D. He's yet to develop into anything relatively close to a defensive player. Dirk wasn't really known for his defense, but he's a much better player than Embiid overall. He's going to get buckets.
He's got a shot. Dirk can shoot the ball.
The only problem is you have AI who can do both sides of the ball at an extremely high level. None of the other guys can do it. So that's the problem. I still want to take Luka and Dirk, though. I don't like Embiid, so I'm staying away. I'm taking out Embiid's knees.
And I'm
taking
give
a
you
baseball
this.
bat to the court, and I'm taking out Embiid's knees. The second it happens.
I will give you this because yes, Dirk is a way better player. Embiid's not going when their careers are said and done. Dirk's going to be way up here. like at the top of the screen right here, and then Embiid's going to be right over here. All right, so I get that. I'm talking 2v2. All Embiid has to do is just guard Dirk. This isn't switching pick and rolls. This isn't being lost. He just has to stay on Dirk, and he might have a fadeaway or two in his bag, but like for the most part, you can't take it inside.
All I got to do is run a pick and roll. Get Luka.
Vice versa.
No.
Vice versa.
No. Get Luka on Embiid. He pulls one move. Both of Embiid's knees snap in half.
My God.
He's unavailable. It becomes a 2v1, and you lose the argument.
And let me do this. AI can do a pick and roll, get Dirk on AI, and then Dirk can break his ankles.
Dirk
he can fall on his
Dirk
butt.
is not as injury prone as Embiid. You're missing the point. Embiid
Injuries
is
in a
injury-prone as hell.
2v2.
Come on. I'm taking everything into consideration.
All right, I can't be mad at that. He might blow his knee out mid-game.
All right.
I don't know.
We'll keep the 2v2 rolling. All right, what about this one? Are you taking Andre Drummond and Kevin Love?
Oh my God.
Or LaMelo Ball and
Other
Gordon
team.
Hayward?
The other team. I'll take
anything. Yeah, I don't want
LaMelo.
keep me away from
Gordon
Andre
Hayward.
Drummond. I would rather
Here we go.
Andre Drummond, the guy who was more focused on becoming a DJ than learning how to shoot, hit free throws and have a post game in Detroit. That's the guy. Yep.
Okay.
That's our guy.
That's our guy.
That's another Pistons first rounder that
All right,
turned
fine,
out so great.
Fine. What about this one? Derrick Rose and Blake Griffin, or I don't like that one.
Then don't bring it up. What's wrong with you, Kennedy?
Well, I thought it would be fun to do, a little.
Listen, keep me away from Blake. Keep me away from anybody
You
who has
hate-
bad
okay.
knees. Keep me away from. I don't want Embiid. I don't
Yeah,
want
don't
Rose.
show him someone with
Just
bad
get him
knees.
away from me.
He's
Get him
not
away.
picking him.
I don't want him. Anthony Davis. I don't want him. I'll take Luka Garza today over Anthony Davis and Joel Embiid. Just keep him away from me. I don't want
That
it.
is an absurd statement.
I don't want it. Keep him away from me. I don't want them walking down an aisle in Target,
Busting
and
their
then they're knee jerks and they're out for 10 weeks.
There's a reason why Anthony Davis is called street clothes.
Unbelievable.
He's got street clothes
Get
on
him
most
away
of the
from me,
time.
Kennedy.
But,
Get him away.
Everyone wants to know what you think about Dirk's ball usage.
His ball usage? You guys are hilarious. You really love that word, don't you?
Yeah.
I'm not even going to answer this.
Come on.
Next.
Boo.
Next.
They just wanted to hear you say ball usage again.
I said it once. That's all. Sorry. Not going to happen.
All right. Well, Adam, do you want to tell us about what we do on Fridays now?
Friday night clash. High school football. This week it's going to be Southfield A&T versus Birmingham Groves. It'll be at Birmingham Groves. The whole crew is going to be down there filming events. We're going to have sideline reporters, fan interactions. We're going to be giving away chances to win $10,000. Lots of cool prizes. Giving away a ton of shirts. A lot of swag. It'll be a great time. It's going to be Friday night and 7 p.m. at Birmingham Grove, September the 3rd. Show up. We're going to be live streaming at 9 p.m. on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Please join us this Friday. We'll see you then.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Welcome back, everybody. You're tuning into the Morning Wood on the Woodward Sports Network. Happy Wednesday. All right. So, Fulgham was waived by the Eagles, and I want to know, should the Lions bring him back here? Jeff, what do you think?
Well, we saw last year in the couple monster games the young man had. It's impressive. Obviously, he was formerly on the Lions. You cut him. He's on the Packers, I believe. They cut him. And then now he's on the Eagles. Puts up those monster couple games. But this is what I have an issue with, because where there's smoke, there's fire. So if we're seeing this from Philadelphia, they're releasing Travis Fulgham, someone who they have expected this preseason to get more reps and to slide him into a high on that depth chart in that wide receiver room. You got Devontae Smith, you got Jalen Reagor, and of course Travis Fulgham. And in this preseason, he was, to say the least, disappointing. His only reception was an 18-yard catch he barely caught by Nick Mullins against the Jets Friday. He just hasn't shown much, and that's the thing. They've had multiple sources have come out and said he's had problems in training camp and the preseason. Like, I don't know if it's his practice habits, his mentality, whatever the case may be. Like, considering the monster of games he had last year, there has to be some sort of development, and it just isn't there. So the Eagles releasing him. Now, the only argument I would say is with the position the Lions are at now, you can't be mad if they take a flyer on him. If he's not asking for necessarily a lot of money, we have room in this wide receiver room to at least bring in guys and see if they like a Trinity Benson or someone like that. For Travis Fulgham to come in, of course you take a chance on him. But let me warn you, there's a reason why the Eagles cut the man, obviously, and they need wide receivers. They're near the bottom. They got Devontae Smith, a couple guys, but we're near the bottom. They're 20s, and they cut Travis Fulgham. They need him. So if that doesn't tell you anything, I wouldn't be mad if they took a chance on him, Adam, but just precaution, because it might be another Brashad Perriman where you sign him, you expect big things out of him, and you end up cutting him. So. But at the stage this team is at now, I don't see a problem with taking a flyer on Travis Fulgham.
I wouldn't. Drops too many passes. Wasn't able to make tough catches in tight spaces. Not a good tight window catcher. Drops easy touchdown passes in the preseason. Stay away.
I wouldn't be mad about that either.
Stay away. What do you want him for? What do you want him for? You already made the decision to move off of Perriman. Why are you going to go for Travis Fulgham? Why? Is this really like a conversation? I'm actually annoyed about this. He was waived by, outside of the Eagles, who I think are super dysfunctional right now, he's already been cut by super structured teams.
Yeah, multiple teams.
His play is just not good. Now, if you're trying to really lose and you want to start him over your younger guys, go for it. Sure. I say this about Golden Tate. I need Amon-Ra St. Brown and Quintez Cephas to get as many targets as possible this year. It's not even a debate. I need those two guys. Cephas, year 2, take a big step. Ross St. Brown, year 1, I want to see him develop, take a good step year 1. How do you get that? Running routes and getting targets. Why do we need this guy? You're not competing. If you were trying to add a depth to your wide receiving position because your number 1 was down and you're just trying to get by for a few weeks, sure, whatever. It's not the case. You don't have a wide receiving unit. He is not going to help. Travis Fulgham is not going to help your wide receiving unit. If anything, it's just going to make a reminder of how terrible it is, which we don't have to keep talking about. So no, don't go for him. I'm not interested. I think it's a waste of time. I think it's a waste of money. I'd rather see Quintez Cephas and Amon-Ra St. Brown get the targets. That's simple. Jeffrey, you're just going to look at me.
No, I mean, what am I going to say? I mean, that's half of Lions fans. You understand you got a young wide receiver room, especially with Amon-Ra St. Brown. You got Quintez Cephas. I get it. You want to get those guys opportunities, but I don't know. The depth isn't there besides those.
It doesn't need to be there.
I understand, but there's going to be, you're expecting big things out of these guys year 1. Like,
Who?
Who? You want Amon-Ra St. Brown, Tyrell Williams, and these guys to take...
What definition of big things? Like, no, I'm not expecting
You're putting the
big
workload on them, so what is that equivalent to?
You're giving them targets. You're giving them reps. You want them to develop. You're not expecting big things out of them. Outside of Cephas, you probably
in the
want to see
future, not this year.
Well,
but...
yeah, okay, then clarify, Jeff. Clarify.
Yeah, not immediate. I did say already, Amon-Ra's not going to have impact this year, but I'm just saying they're all going to play well. But I just don't see a problem. You take Travis Fulgham, let him compete.
I'd rather have Cam Newton at wide receiver than Travis Fulgham.
Okay, well that's. Don't know
I'm
how
getting
I feel
the same
about
production.
No.
I am. What's the difference?
There is other guys out in the wide receiver area, though.
Yeah, but the Lions aren't going to be in the market for a John Brown. They're not.
Not a John Brown. He's a little too... It's got to be young guys.
You already have Tyrell Williams.
Yeah.
What are we doing? You're not going after free agents. They told you post-draft, middle of free agency, we are not interested in surrounding Jared Goff with any significant talent at the wide receiver position. We have 2 young guys we think can be very good, and we're going to see how they develop the first year with Jared Goff, but we're not interested. Maybe next year when we draft a quarterback, then we got to start addressing the wide receiver position, sure. Maybe we address it in free agency as well. I'm not sure yet. But it's definitely not this year. They're going to be losing football games. They're not interested. They're not interested. It's that simple. They told you everything they think of Jared Goff. Brad Holmes can sit up there and say, he's not a bridge quarterback to us. I know how good he is. I was there when we drafted him. Say all you want. Behind closed doors, Jared Goff is a bridge. They're not going to set him up with the weapons that he probably needs to succeed. And it's going to be ugly football this year, whether you like it or not. So stay away from Travis Fulgham. Stay away from Golden Tate. Stay away from players like a John Brown. We don't need them. What you need right now is to get Cephas and St. Brown as many targets as possible. I couldn't be more clear and repeat myself anymore. That is what you're worried about and focused on year one. Figure out if you've got something there. If you do, great. That is a very good position to be in. If you don't, you know you have to draft next year a wide receiver. Or you have to go get a veteran in free agency. What are you doing? You're not going after Travis Fulgham. Get him out of here.
Especially because I've been reading reports. Listen, I'm not going to be arguing you should go after him, because I have been reading reports that he had a good 2 weeks of camp. Afterwards, he's kind of stopped showing up. It's a lot of things. I don't know if it's work ethic, it's mentality, but whatever the case may be, the Lions are trying to build a culture. So if signing Travis Fulgham messes that up, don't do it. And that's as simple as that.
All right, well, look. Before we move on, there's another aspect of the Lions I think we should talk about before they make their next roster announcements, which is, how well do you expect the defensive line to play this year, Jeff? I'll let you start.
I mean, guys like Romeo Okwara, I expect the production to be there. Trey Flowers moving to that outside linebacker spot. I think he'll find success. He's going to have to do more playing and pass coverage, which he said he's done in New England. So I'm excited to see changes out of him this year. But in terms of that defensive line, I'm expecting big things. Not big things, but impact from these rookies. That's really all we got. I mean, I'm not expecting, a Liam to come out or a Levi to come out and get 8 to 10 sacks. It's just, making an impact your rookie year, playing a lot of downs, getting experience. I mean, that's all it really is. You got a young defensive line. We got Julian Okwara, who's getting as many reps as humanly possible to develop. And but yeah, besides the two guys, Trey Flowers and Romeo, I don't know a whole lot, but I expect something the rookie year. Give me a couple sacks, a couple tackle for losses, and something we could build off of, if that makes sense.
You have a Liam McNeil, you have Levi, you have Trey Flowers, Michael Brockers. It's young, it's nice. I like it. Good mix of vets and young guys. I like it. But they finished 30th last year in defensive line rankings. 30th. They came into the season ranked 24th because of the draft. I believe they had a good draft. And clearly other media outlets believe they had a good draft. So they're at 24th now. I think their defensive line could finish in the top 18. I think that's very realistic. Because I think out of every unit in the preseason, the defensive line showed up the most.
Yep.
And that was very promising for me, at least. We take away preseason takeaways, that was one of mine. The defensive line play. So I'm excited to see the defensive line over the course of the year. I think lots of room for development. And we can say that basically at almost every position. Room for development. How are these players going to grow from year 1 to year 2, rookie year to year 1, year 3 to year 4, whatever it may be. However far they're in. If they're vets, how are they teaching? What's the communication like? How are they going to mentor these young edge rushers? Like, this is what you're looking for year 1 with Dan Campbell. Kennedy?
Yeah, well, we talked about it before I think the preseason had even started, which we thought was going to do better. Was it going to be the offense or was it going to be the defense? So, Adam, are you now saying it's the defense?
Oh, I said the defense when we originally had the argument. I think the defense will be much... Yeah, I'm sticking with it. The defense will be much better from last year to this year compared to the offense. The offense was ranked in the top 15 last year, even without Kenny Golladay. The defense, dead last. The offense this year will probably finish 24th, 25th, 26th.
I can see them swapping.
Maybe even less. Or worse, I should say.
Jeff, I think you defended the offense.
I did, but this is before really training camp and what I've seen over the last couple of weeks. Because on paper, our offense was more appealing. It looked like it was going to be better, but let's be honest. This team is so new that I don't see success out of this offense early in the season, like, to be completely honest. You saw it in the preseason. Like, they just don't have the chemistry yet and the talent. I mean, they got a couple guys. Our offensive line is probably our strongest part of our team. You got TJ Hawkinson, our best player. Like, a lot of the best things around offense doesn't necessarily mean the production's going to be there. So that's kind of what my argument was based off. But once seeing these teams, we got a good defensive line. I think that, like, there's so much depth at that position. Like, Kevin Strong, someone who's a third guy. He's coming in getting sacks. Like, That part, I think I could see them swapping. I could see our defense being middle of the pack, like 20.
Okay, 20. I'm not middle. Yeah.
No,
top 15. I don't know. I don't know about.
I'm
top
saying
15,
north of top 15, like anywhere from 15 to 20.
From 16 to 20.
Yes, I think that's fair. That's my point. And then the offense could be high 20s. I mean, I could be surprised.
Again, so as much as I want to agree on that, I also think the defense probably jumps from, realistically, in my opinion, they jump from 32 to like 24 or 23. They're not going to be able to make that much more of a jump because the offense is going to put them in bad situations as well. So I think year to year, this will be a much better year on the defensive side of the ball than it will be for the offense. I think they're going to struggle. The offense will control the clock, so over time it will help mitigate the amount of points, the amount of yards, the amount of time they're on the field regarding the defense. So yeah, I've never been more confident in what I said prior regarding the defense. I feel really good about it. I think Aaron Glenn can only do a better job than what it was last year. It was historically bad last year. It'll just be bad this year. That's improvement. Depends how you look at it. But this is something that could be good 2-3 years down the line. If you could just put on the future glasses for a minute and just follow me, because I'll keep saying it. This could be a nice roster in 2 to 3 years. But if you want to say it's going to be nice year one, I can't help you. I can't help you.
I agree.
You're just not on the same page as the front office and what everybody up here, especially me, has been trying to tell you for the longest time now. They're doing something other front offices do, other organizations do, which is build long term. They're stacking their picks. It's a good situation to be in. Like, don't judge Dan Campbell year one. If Dan Campbell finished 2-15, I will sit up here and defend him at the end of the year, all being equal, that he just doesn't do what Matt Patricia did, putting 9 people on the field, dumb penalties, dumb challenges. As long as I'm not seeing stupidity and incompetence, I'm on board. Good. I know the team is bad. So yeah, I think defense will improve, offense will get significantly worse, and people are just going to have to accept that. I know you have DeAndre Swift. I know Jamal Williams came in. I know you have TJ Hawkinson, probably a top 5 tight end in the NFL.
Great offensive line.
Jared Goff is your quarterback.
I know.
You have a very good offensive line, but your right tackle looks like he might get Jared Goff killed this year. Don't oversell yourselves right now. Don't. Be very careful. You think that's a 10-win football team, then I'm sure in 3 years they'll think they're a 17-0 football team, because they'll be much better in 3 years, and I'll be much more it's not about optimism, but I'll be much more confident in the team in 2-3 years from now. Not this year. They suck. They suck. Whether you like it or not, they suck, and they know they suck. And I love that.
Yeah, they know.
And I love that they're not coming out and saying, "Yeah, we're gonna go out there and try to compete for the division." No, you're not.
They're not signing no veterans, pointless veterans. They're
such a young team. There are no veterans on the team. They're got 30 million cap space assigned to Jared Goff. He's a bridge quarterback. I've repeated the process how many times now? Accept it. You're in a good situation if you're a Detroit Lions fan. Things are going in the right direction. Get on board with it. Fish, if you tell me otherwise, I swear to God.
Well, it's not what our quarterback said. Quarterback said they can win the NFC North.
That's what he's supposed to say, though, Fish. Imagine
Look,
if
I don't mind him saying that, but I can
necessarily.
give you a million reasons why it won't happen. They're not competing for the NFC North.
They are.
Unless all 3 team plane crashes, they are not competing in the NFC North.
They are.
It's just simple. They're not.
Well,
they don't have
are.
the roster that they have. They don't. They don't even have the quarterback that the other teams have.
Well, they're going to wow you.
Yeah, they're going to wow me. I know. I've been hearing that
wowed.
for 60 years, Fish. They're going to wow you, Adam, this year. I'm
Yep.
telling you. This is the year. This is why it's just so frustrating.
This is the
to talk to
60th
you.
year. They're going to wow you on the 60th year.
No, Fish.
Just to make it
No.
right.
Hey, Ryan, our guy Ryan's asking, what's your prediction for our next year's draft position? I could see.
Oh, they're going quarterback first round.
Well, yes, I get.
They're going quarterback and they're going skill position.
But pick. Like, what you think? Realistically, top 5.
Where they fall?
Yeah.
I think they'll be top 5.
Top
pick.
5.
Yeah, they have to
I
be a
agree
top
with
5 pick. Now, if they surprise all of you at home and
Which
win
they
6
will,
games,
32nd pick.
If they surprise you and win 6 games or 7 games, then they
Or
probably
10.
get what? 8 to 12, 8 to 13, depends how bad the league is. 17 games now.
Or 32
so there's more
pick.
losses available to lose. So
And I don't like that outcome. 6 to 8
it doesn't put you in a good
games.
position.
Yes.
Because the Rams are going to give you anywhere from 20 to 30.
Yep.
Maybe even 32. You don't know.
2 late picks. You
You're
trade up to
getting,
get
you
one.
don't want 2 late picks. You need a top. Let's say the Detroit Lions are in a position where they have a top 2 pick, and somebody wants a quarterback. But the Lions aren't in love with the quarterbacks that are in that draft class.
You get a load.
You get a load of picks. Your roster overnight becomes so much better. Jared Goff, year 2, can actually come out and play good football, winning football ideally, and you can win 8, 9, 10 games potentially. And I'll give you one more win based on that. And then you bring in the replacement. You either franchise tag Jared Goff or you rework a small deal with him. Like, hey, we'll give you a 2-year, $30 million contract while we find our next quarterback of the future. That scenario is a possibility. But the team winning year 1 fish and getting the 32nd overall pick is not going to happen. The only chance they have at that is that the Rams do everything for them. But sorry, that's it.
All right. Well, Adam has already told you guys that Woodward Sports will be out there doing high school football. But up next, a high school, maybe fake high school football team has been making waves and making headlines. So stick around for that. You're watching Woodward Sports.
Opa, introducing Papa Romano's new Greek pizza, a tasty blend of bold Greek flavors and Mediterranean toppings, including feta cheese and Greek dressing. Get a large Greek pizza for a limited time for $16.99. Order now at paparomanos.com.
Morning, Art.
Morning, D-Mac.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Morning Wood on the Woodward Sports Network. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. All right, so if you haven't seen this, you literally must be living under a rock because it has been memed to the high heavens. I've never seen so many memes about one thing in my entire life, and that is Bishop Sycamore, the high school that may or may not exist allegedly in Columbus, Ohio. They have a football team that is traveling nationally and playing all of the best teams. They managed to snag airtime on ESPN because they claimed that they had a bunch of guys that were going to go to the NFL. They got their crap beaten in by, what's it called? IMG.
Yep,
who's
IMG Academy.
second ranked in the nation in high school football. So there's so many things to unpack about this. Where do you guys even want to start?
Jeff?
I'll start by saying this. I was confused because first I saw the blowout. It was like 50-something to 0. So I'm thinking, okay, IMG Academy is a very good team. They produce talent. I think J.J. McCarthy from Michigan went there. And there's other guys that go to IMG Academy to become, hopefully get in the NFL. But when I saw Bishop Sycamore, whatever it is, Sycamore, when you see the name Bishop with schools, I looked this up. Usually they're associated with the Catholic Church, named in honor of local bishops or historic bishops. However, Ohio doesn't have a Bishop Sycamore throughout its whole history, like at least in the area this team was in. So there's no such thing as this school, basically, to say the least. And another funny point is if you go to the About Us page or staff page on their website, it's absolutely blank. Like there's literally nothing written down. The schedule tab just says the schedule's coming soon. So whatever that means. It's the most sketchiest operation I've ever seen. Obviously, the kids are like grown men. But more importantly, the coach. Like, apparently this Bishop Sycamore fired its head coach, Roy Johnson. And the school's director, Andre Peterson, said a lot of things contributed to his firing. Let me just say this. One of them being his injury tracking on the team, which apparently no one gives a dang if people are getting injured, and a pending fraud charge. So you know what? That's an interesting coach, an interesting team with all guys that have in their bios, their athlete pages, senior quarterback at this high school or junior quarterback at this high school, and they're 23 graduates, 24-year-old graduates. It's embarrassing. I mean, the fact that ESPN let this get on. Theoretically, me and Adam could go make our own team and go out there and compete. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, ESPN's got to know better, but, it is what it is. IMG blew them out regardless, so, I just thought it was funny that a team was actually able to pull this off with
and
all
they fired
the BS.
their head coach, right?
Yes.
How do they fire somebody if it's not even a real school/football team?
Well,
They must be trying to make, the official, we're firing him, even though there's no website. Like, what do you guys... I didn't even know there was a school director.
I love it. I'm all for it. I thought it was amazing. I don't know why you guys are trolling them.
I mean, it's hilarious that it got this far, but
If you're telling...
also
Go ahead.
you're putting actual high school children on the line if these guys are as old as people are saying, and
Well,
that's not cool.
If they are 22-year-olds and they got schmacked 58-0,
I mean,
I'm not worried about the high school kids at all. I'm not. They crushed them.
Yeah, they had no idea what was going on.
They couldn't even tackle. You watch the highlights? They couldn't even tackle. What's up, Fish?
From what I'm hearing, that IMG wanted an Ohio school, and they were the only Ohio school that wanted to play IMG, so they said, you're coming to play.
They were the only, Ohio.
Yeah, I guess expecting that they were an actual
This
Ohio
coach
team, and they're not.
is an American hero, and he shouldn't have been fired. And I don't even know how you can fire him if it wasn't even legal.
Well, he's still a coach of a team.
What's up, Fish?
He's still a coach of a team.
A team that doesn't exist, Fish. I found this whole story fascinating.
It's crazy.
I am glad though that one, they caught it, two, nobody got hurt, but high school kids can hold their own. These are a bunch of 22-year-olds who probably rode the bench freshman year to varsity year or senior year in high school. And then they all got together and like, oh, I bet now we could beat on those high school kids, not realizing how much more athletic kids are getting every single generation. It's not even close. So,
and schematically, the guys didn't know what was going on.
If I tried lining up in a high school football game right now, I
lost. You look like Jelani Tavai. You look
Literally.
like Jelani Tavai out there.
Well, this is what I'm so confused about too. And the commentators of the game said it. They were like, they're telling us that these kids are getting looked at by all these colleges and they're so good and this and that. The last year, the school went 0-6 and got outscored 227-42.
So it is a school? So it is a school?
Well, yes.
School.
Somebody help me here.
They're claiming it's an online school and that...
But they played last year.
Correct.
So how did they play last year? Now we're calling them illegitimate.
It might be a school that the football
program.
programs.
Last year was their first year as a school.
Okay, that's fine. And then they got IMG to play them on ESPN. What'd they do wrong? What'd they do wrong? They just sucked. That's ESPN's fault. That's ESPN's fault.
Yeah, it is.
Why
is
would
ESPN's
not look
fault.
into this?
Oh my goodness, this
They're
is
saying
horrible.
we're this good football team, but then you can go online and see that they went 0-6, and then they should have been like, no, you're not playing the number 2 team in the nation. You suck.
Not a lot of research was done. Just throw them up on TV. It was a very poor
Why
planned
can you
thing.
lie so easily to ESPN?
By the way,
they're dumb.
Just so people know, ESPN uses a third-party service to get the game. So they're not the ones that pick.
I don't
We're gonna
care.
show
I
this
don't care
game.
if I have
The
Johnny
third-party-
Paul cutting my lawn. At the end of the day, if he messes up, it's my responsibility for even hiring them.
But it's also not ESPN's responsibility for
my
looking
God.
up the
Fish,
game.
mute your
The
mic.
third-
You're not talking about
the
this right now.
third-party server is like,
no,
hey,
ESPN
ESPN,
are so
this is a game you
responsible
should
for
pick
it.
on Sunday afternoon.
ESPN
ESPN's
are
like,
responsible
done.
for it. Stop talking, Fish.
But it's the
ESPN are
third-party
responsible for it.
website that, or third-party
It's called
server
holding,
that told them
holding
to-
yourself accountable. If I hired somebody to do a job for me and they're not doing the job correctly, it is my fault.
Yeah.
Not their fault. ESPN's
But you're
fault.
the one
Sorry.
that got the
But Fish,
person.
if you're scheduling games and you got 25-year-olds playing in a high school game and you scheduled it, it's your fault, and you work for ESPN. But ESPN got them whatever. The IMG wanted to play the school. ESPN covered it. Why are you covering a game? You don't know anything about the teams. You should have known these guys on the team is 25 years old. They graduated in 2016. Whatever the case
they
may
didn't
be.
do their homework.
Didn't
It's
do any
ESPN's
homework.
fault, whether you want to admit it or not. And at the end of the day, the fact that they were changing helmets, pants, and uniforms on the sideline was absolutely amazing, and it was so American-esque. I love it.
Honestly, that was
That just shows
American-esque.
you anything is possible in this country.
That's so true.
That's facts.
I could go start an online school.
You should.
And
Yes,
Fish is
you
my
could.
quarterback.
You
And you're
could.
telling me I could be on a national network in 2 years. It's amazing.
This
It's a great
is
story.
what this article this part sits really wrong with me for some reason. It says Johnson even joked that his team will practice on an open parking lot if that's all they can find. So they say the coach explained that students attend classes online. The school doesn't have a building and they don't have a dedicated practice facility. We can tell, But the coach says that the underage players on his team stay with him while the players 18 and over live in random places as if they're in college.
Nice.
What is going on?
Heck yeah.
Okay,
Living
first
with
of
your
all,
coach when you're underage? What's happening?
well, okay,
What are
wait.
the
First of all,
parents?
there are no parents. That's like part of the problem.
These
All
kids
right?
want to play football. Yeah.
Well, no, it's
They got nothing else.
you
I mean,
know,
what are
when,
they?
when
With
you're
online
when
school.
you grow up in those type of environments, it is not easy.
No.
Single parent household, or even a dual parent household, but they're both arguing, bickering, or you're born into a community that's, very difficult to get out of, let's say. I mean, everybody has different situations to deal with, Count your blessings every day if you don't have to, but I'm telling you right now, that doesn't surprise me. Living with a coach, we know so many stories. There was an Olympian who lived with her coach because she was a foster child.
Right.
This happens. I'm not even mad about that stuff. If the coach is taking in kids and trying to have them express themselves outside of school, so they're not out and about getting in trouble, I'm all for that. That is amazing. So as much as it's funny to laugh at Bishop Sycamore, I don't even know how to say it.
Sycamore.
Laugh all we want, but if they were able to secure the bag for their school, and if it is a legitimate school, sorry, I'm all for it. ESPN, thank you for being dumb, because not that the money's going to be enough to build a school or a practice facility, but guys, remember when we play sports growing up, we play them for fun, and but you're getting away from homework, your problems at home, if you have any. You're getting away from the bullies at school. You're getting away from everything. So I really want to read more into this now.
Let's just.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this.
Overall, though, they're wrong. I mean, it's wrong to do that. You can't play 25-year-old kids in a high school football game, especially when you're a fake program. It doesn't make any sense. I get what you're saying, though. Coaches, they take in kids, and that's on it. If I was a coach, I would do the same thing if a kid needed help. But from this standpoint, Jimmy, you're a grown man. You're 25 years old. Why is he still playing?
Though?
They said multiple players on that team graduated years ago.
In 2017.
They've already have collegiate graduation, and they're in high school. I'm talking class of 2021 or whatever.
Well, yeah,
So
it's a BS school.
Yeah,
it's a BS school.
Right.
But I'm not going to be mad at them. They secured the bag. Good for them.
It is what it
really,
is, right?
He's in a lot of trouble now.
Who, the coach?
Yeah.
How? What'd he do?
It says
all they can do is take away the rights for them to play football. They can't do anything else.
he is facing active warrant and civil lawsuits.
Yeah, he had a warrant on him.
Huh?
For
I don't think it says.
Blah 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 for unsavory tactics. I have no idea. Oh, the bench warrant for failure to appear in a domestic violence case, a criminal
No, that's his personal problems. That's nothing to do with the game.
Well, I mean, this is the guy watching your kids.
Yeah, you shouldn't let a guy coach your team.
I'm trying to explain.
A warrant.
This is a dude that put a team together with a bunch of kids that probably have no direction in their life.
Right.
And they're just they try to get an opportunity to showcase themselves on TV against kids who are actually good at football, and it totally backfired, and that's just the reality. So it's a bogus story. I could care less.
He was charging the football players for rooms.
Okay, that's fine.
For $81 a night.
What a business. Good for him. It's amazing.
That is American dream.
So they're not students then. They're just adults.
Yeah.
Who should be playing.
Young adults
Who should be
that are
playing.
trying to play against high school football players to try and get them. I don't know. I don't even know what the point is.
I want to see you suit up against middle schoolers. Can you just get in there and start hitting middle schoolers?
No, that's abuse. What's wrong with you?
This is what we're doing now. This is what's
Says
allowed.
the one that thinks he can beat Little League baseball
varsity
players.
High schoolers are built different. I have a
They are.
I have a 13-year-old brother who is 6 foot, 210 pounds, and could probably maul me.
But he's
All right?
still only 13.
And I'm 26 years old. He would maul me, and I'm not joking. So high schoolers are built different. I'm not too worried about them playing against 22-year-olds. Now, if they're D2, even D3 athletes, okay, that's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
But these aren't college athletes. These are guys who couldn't get to college and play in college, who aren't even that very good. And you saw it. Nobody got hurt. End of story. Let it go. Forget about it. ESPN, do your due diligence and don't let it happen again.
They'll sweep it under the rug. This will be.
I don't get it.
This will be
I'm making a bigger deal out of it than it was. Whatever.
Wow. Now I have a whole different outlook on it because of you, Adam. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Now I feel kind of bad for laughing at all the memes.
Well, it is
think
funny.
About it that way.
It's funny because
It's
you can
funny
laugh
that
at ESPN.
messed up that
You
bad.
can laugh at ESPN about it, but to laugh at these kids, you don't know their situations, and I don't either.
Right.
And as much as I read into it, I don't know about these people who they are personally. Are they Like,
I know.
They
right
could be
now.
cool
were they
guys.
19, 20-year-olds, 21-year-olds trying to get a second chance? You don't know.
All I know is the coach has
All
a
I
warrant.
know is that the coach is a baller.
He has a warrant, but yes,
He has a
baller.
warrant. I mean, the whole thing is
a baller with a warrant.
the whole thing spells out disaster. Whatever.
Yes, it
no,
does.
yeah, it's a mess.
Something that isn't a mess is our good friends at Levels and Centerline. They are now open, obviously. 2 weeks ago, we were down at their grand opening. It was a great time. Food trucks, you name it. They just know how to have a good time. Come experience the next level in cannabis on Sherwood between 9 and 10 Mile. Download their app today and start collecting points so you can level up. Search Enjoy Levels in the Apple or Google Play stores. Make sure when you stop by Levels today, you mention Woodward Sports. We'll see you after the break.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. With historically low interest rates and 5-star service, you could pay your mortgage off faster without increasing your monthly payment. Get started now at 248-308-5000 or chat with us online. Call hallfirst.com.
Would you like to win a custom-built chopper while helping our veterans at the same time?
Then watch as we turn this bike into a one-of-a-kind classic chopper.
Watch the Call Sam Chopper Shop on our social media channels and get your raffle ticket today at callsam.com/chopper shop.
Is it time?
Yeah, it is.
Fish! Go fish.
Fish facts.
It's fish!
Alrighty. Today is going to be another great day. As we had yesterday, as we had the day before that. We go out to a video / a picture today. And this is a stat that ESPN had, not part of the fact, it's part of the picture / video. For most 3-pointers fouls drawn since 2009.
Oh my god.
And James Harden has 520 of them. If you look at the top, excluding the Rockets.
That says a lot
So
about
it's not even
how
counting-
James Harden gets his points.
So it's not even counting when he was on the Rockets. And you can see those are teams that have...
And the Lakers, the Lakers flop. The fact that James Harden's above them by 100 fouls, wow. He's a gifted scorer, but that says a lot, Fish. That says he's shooting free throws. Probably if he scores 30, 15 of them are for free throws. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, it's getting, and those are excluding the Rockets. So that shows a lot more. The Rockets aren't even on the list. The Thunder are.
Because he has the ball most of the time. He's like, I get all the fouls. All the fouls coming right to me.
And this is in an era of analytics and data-based opinions where things are just so wrong. People like James Harden getting more fouls than entire basketball teams.
That's ridiculous.
But those are 3-point fouls
That's how
drawn,
soft
by
the
the
league
way.
is now. It's more athletic, it's more dynamic, but totally soft.
Doesn't get you anything, though.
They're changing
No,
the
clearly.
rules. They're changing the rules to try to alleviate the people shooting and then jumping into the... We'll see how it works. But speaking of how it works, Blake Snell of the Padres is the second starter in modern era to be removed from a game after throwing 7+ innings of 7+ no-hit innings with 10+ strikeouts. The other was Francisco Cordova on the 1997 July 12th. He threw 9 innings and 10.
So Blake
10
Snell over there
strikeouts.
making team history.
Making team history. I'm not a fan of when they pull him after a no-hitter. That doesn't make sense to me. But
yeah,
like you have a no-hitter and there's pull you.
Yeah, it's like, let me get out here. Let me stay out here at least. I mean, but he pulls him while he's hot. You know what I mean? He's having success.
Find
So
the
get him out
pitcher
there.
throwing hands at the coach. Adam, I know you would do that. You
Do
would
what, Fish?
throw hands after being pulled when you're
No.
You're having a no-hitter and you get pulled? You're swinging?
I'm not swinging, no.
Speaking of swinging, Abraham Toro of the Seattle Mariners, first player in MLB history to hit a grand slam off a pitcher, Kendall Grieveman, whom was traded earlier in the season, or for whom he was traded for earlier in the season. So trade for trade, hits a grand slam off the guy who was traded for. That works out.
That's revenge in itself right there. That's what a great thing. You come out, you get traded, and then you hit a bomb from the same dude. You know, a little bit of makes you feel good. You know, that's some like video game stuff right there.
It is video game stuff. We have 1 month left, by the way, in the Major League Baseball season. Don't know how many times we'll be saying this name. Cleveland Indians. Shortstops with 4+ hits and 5+ RBIs in a game. That is Ahmad Rosario last night. Other names, Asdrubal Cabrera, you remember him? The
Yes.
other Cabrera to the Miguel. I don't think they're related, though, although they could be. I don't think they're related. Frank Duffy twice and Joe Sewell twice as well. Both of them in the 70s. The other guy was 1924.
Hey, congrats to the Cleveland Indians, even though this year they're one game above 500, but you know what it is. It is what it is.
And last time for the Indians until they changed to the Guardians, which they have a lot of stuff on their plate with the roller derby team.
That's why I don't care about them dang Indians.
Speaking of Indians changing name to the Guardians, maybe this guy can help you out because it is his birthday today. And today is the 1st of September. Happy September, by the way, Wednesday. Dr. Phil, it is his birthday today.
Let's go.
Did you guys watch Dr. Phil? Did you enjoy Dr. Phil?
I did. Dr. Phil was the man. All right, he's obviously he made that Catch Me Outside girl famous.
Mm-hmm.
And
several other people famous.
He's saving everybody's relationship and family relationship. Dr. Phil's the man, dude. He's the man.
1950 is his birthday. We have
How old is he? 1950, you said?
Yes, 1950.
Yeah, so he's like 70 years old.
We have other birthdays. Cam Reddish. It is his
Cam
birthday.
Reddish?
And not Junior, but Tim Hardaway.
Oh,
it is also his birthday
Senior.
today.
Great point guard.
His is 1966. Cam Reddish is 1999. So those are your birthdays. Those are the facts. We'll be back for tomorrow, which is Thursday. I'm excited for the weekend, Adam. I know you're not allowed to be, apparently, to you, according to you, but I'm going to get excited for the weekend.
Yeah, one thing people don't know about Adam, he actually hates weekends. He just absolutely despises going home and enjoying himself. So, you know what?
Well, okay, that's probably the reason why, because he does not do that.
Yeah.
He still stays here and does whatever he has to do, so...
That's why I got to have a chat with him. We got to convince him. Get Adam to turn that frown upside down. You know, right, Adam?
Well, we need to get him a day off. Adam, can we get you...
Subtle. No.
Can we get you one day off a week?
I don't take days off, Fish.
What is that, Fish? He does not know that definition.
Get
what
like
is a day
Stick
off?
or Joey to do something. Just one day.
Fish, stay out of my business.
I'm helping you.
I'm working 7 days because I want to, not because I have to.
Oh, okay.
Difference.
Okay, well, don't come complain to me
Thank
when
you,
you're
buddy.
upset about stuff.
Thanks,
I
Fish.
want you to be happy.
I am happy.
Okay.
Hey, Fish,
Do I
cool.
not look happy? Something wrong with me?
No, you
No,
look
he's
happy
smiling.
now.
Look at that smile. He's smiling.
But
I mean,
wait 4 hours and you come running and be
Fish,
crying.
whether I
and-
sleep 4 or 6 hours, I'm the same person. Don't worry about it.
Okay, cool. I like that.
Thank you, Fish. You are the best. So we now have quite the interesting story that I managed to find last night. Michael Jordan's underwear are online, and you can buy them if you please. The bid starts at $500. When I checked last night, there was only one bid for $500. I just refreshed the link. There are now 3 bids, and they are up to $605. You may be asking yourself, how the heck did someone get a hold of MJ's underwear? And I think, if I remember the article correctly, it was one of his old security guards or something that just kept them. So I want to know, you guys, how much would you bid for a pair of Michael Jordan's underwear? And if you won the bid, what are you going to do with them?
I would bid 0.
No, come on.
I would never make a bid on anybody else's underwear.
Any man's
to start.
or anyone's underwear.
That'll never happen, number one. Number two, what would I pay? Again, nothing. You couldn't pay me you couldn't pay me to keep his underwear, let alone wear it. There is no amount of money in the world where I'm going to take another man's underwear and put it in
Adam,
my
I have a
house.
question. Is there like an authenticity thing on the underwear?
Yeah, I'm sure there's like a poop stain or something.
No, it said
There's
said
the Jordan
in the description
logo.
that there is signs of use, which
No.
I don't know what that means.
I want to ask, how, number one, how do you know it's MJ's underwear? It could be Adam's underwear. He's just selling his for $500. It's MJ's. I stole it. I was a security guard. No, I'm done with that.
There's proof
I'll take my
somewhere, I think.
$500 and I'll go buy some memorabilia, like something like a baseball or a basketball jersey, sign, whatever the case may be. I'm not spending it on no grown man or woman's underwear. All right, you could count me out of that. People in the comments may disagree. I don't know, but no, it's not happening. No way.
If the underwear allowed you to play like MJ, would you wear them?
Yes. Stop throwing them on, dude. I wouldn't even be here. I mean, you know what? I'd be, if this isn't like Mike, though. This isn't like Mike, where you put on some shoes and you turn into the man.
You're putting on his underwear. You know,
People are gonna put them on.
His used
you
underwear.
have to wear the underwear if you want to play like MJ. That's the rule.
if that seller who's selling them tells the guys, hey, if you put them on it,
I'm going to put the link in the chat for all that are asking here. I'm doing God's work out here. Here's the freaking link, y'all. Go bid. I can't wait to see. I hope the Woodies just jack that thing up to 1,000. Let's go.
I could never, ever bid on another person's underwear.
I would bid like $5 max, and then
you are disgusting.
And then I.
How dare you even entertain a bid?
You guys realize there's something called
then
the
I
washer.
Would shadow box it. It would be so funny to like have like over your bar in like the basement or wherever, and just like have a little plaque in there
really
that says,
in
this
your
is
basement,
MG's
in your cave,
or MJ's
where you
underwear.
invite people over for dinner and watching the game.
You can't tell me that wouldn't be
that's the
so
Michael Jordan
funny.
underwear I bid $500 for.
That's
I can't pay
funny.
my DTE bill, but I'm paying for this Michael Jordan underwear. Let me tell you.
Imagine if the bill collectors came and you're like, I don't got no money, but I got this
MJ
underwear. If you take it,
it's
I
worth
swear to God,
$500.
$500.
Right. It's funny.
It's not. It's horrible. It's awful.
awesome
It's disgusting.
story.
It's disgusting.
All right, whatever. You
It's
guys
disgusting.
Are
Get me out of
That's
here.
the cue for the end here. That's the cue.
All right. Well, you guys have been hanging out with us on the Morning Wood. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Adam, Fish, Alex in the TD booth. We've also been on the Roar 93.5 FM, 99.1 FM, and 94.7 HD2. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We will see you tomorrow.